We better get proper sponsored for this, but shout out to Adventure Hire Perth and Daniel Overd. I'm not showing you my tits.
For a free ride on the jet ski, though, I'll do anything.
That's it, for a free ride on jet ski. Yeah, I'll come hang out. All right. Oh wait, that's my phone. Oops. We're just getting a bit of reverb there. Okay, so tonight we have Mr. J-Fro, Jonathan, and we have Mr. Ewan. Baby haircut over here. Yeah, I want to slide that in there just to start off with. All right, so Pulp Glitchin, huh? Pulp Glitchin and making glitch hop in Perth and like partying and
big dons.
Yeah, the big dons.
Make sure you're talking your mic.
Weird and wonky
Yeah.
bass. Goodness, I guess. Yeah.
So where did it start? Like, I mean,
Oh man,
it's such a niche genre, but it's such a cool genre at the same time, though. Like,
yeah. Oh fucking. Not getting booked. Oh shit.
whoa, have we just like broken everything? No, we're all good. Yeah, the cat didn't tip anything over. All right, sorry, go on. Like,
not getting booked for DJ sets. I guess is the fucking birthplace of it all.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Didn't you start off as a blog site though?
Yeah,
Like you were
well,
saying
yeah, that
yeah.
too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like like a lifetime ago.
So it's like MySpace days blog site or what?
WordPress, we were cultured.
Okay. You cultured.
Culture,
Okay,
yeah.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, I linked up with these guys I worked with at IKEA, and they used to run the Euphoria blog. They still float around Perth.
Euphoria blog?
Yeah, Euphoria, like deep house, like techno blog.
Can you look that up, Jamie? Damo, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
I sit
I
there.
think the website link will be dead, but I know one of the guys still DJs as Euphoria heaps of the big.
So it's Euphoria?
Yeah, Nuphoria.
Okay.
Yeah, so big ups to them and
So
Shah, who'll probably never see it.
And so that was kind of like the inspiration to get the blog post going, almost. Or...
Yeah. Well, like, so we linked up with them, and I like posted with them for ages, like just getting my head around blogging and everything, and then eventually we started our own offshoot, I guess, like posting like bass music and stuff like that. Me and my best mates, like Curtis and Dan.
Did you ever get like tired of like, because how big were your blogs and stuff? Like that guy there?
Yeah.
There you go. Jamie's onto it. Like Damo knows what he's doing. Well, shout out if he's watching. Like,
Yeah.
But like, how big were your blog posts then? Like, so like, what would?
Some are like, because obviously you can track views and stuff like that. When we like, I think within like 6 months we're getting like, like 60 to like 200 clicks through on the posts and stuff.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was pretty like niche then. You had like Scour Records and stuff like that, and like Ghettofunk.com, I think, that would just scour SoundCloud and put all these track lists together. And like, if you played breakbeats back then, you'd be waiting for their monthly scour every month for like
Just like new
fresh
stuff.
shit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the only thing that got old was never getting booked, because like traditionally doofs in Perth, which is I guess the scene we're like infamous for being in, was 24 to 72 hours of psytrance or slightly slower psytrance.
Yeah. It's just prog psy, just
Yeah.
consistent, just
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah. And crash sounds and reverbs and monologues about taking psychedelics.
No, that's it.
Yeah. And then that got pretty old pretty fast. And I think I was like 17, and I had some mates living with me at the time from like extenuating circumstances, and they helped me put on my first party when I was like 17, and then halfway through he was like, "Bro, there's no fucking psytrance," and I was like, "Yeah,
This is sick. Like, aren't you digging it?
it's fucked." And then promptly after that, it's like, "No, you can't keep doing this." And I was like, "No, fuck you. I know the guy with the sound system now. We're gonna keep doing parties."
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna pioneer something new. Like.
Yeah. And then we just kept pushing it, and now like 10 years later, we're fucking like a super loyal fan base. I think the people who've actually would have been to our first handful of parties are few and far between, but we've actually carved out this following for like Aussie, Fractal Forest, fucking style of music.
Yeah, well,
It's
breakbeat's
sweet,
pretty
yeah.
breakbeat's pretty damn cool, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
the whole glitch hop scene and just everything. Like,
yeah,
and-
even doing drum and bass stuff for like Geisha and stuff now. You know, like,
Really?
that feels like a pretty big privilege. It's been a while since we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Geisha's just like always just techno in house, but
Yeah.
like swap it up a bit. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
And we had vibes there like 18 months pre-COVID, God knows, and the BC before COVID times. And we had
in the
more
BC,
people, before COVID.
yeah.
We had vibes there, and we was talking to the Warwick who runs it afterwards, and I think we got more people through the door than when they had John 00 Fleming there. Like we had 620 odd people through the doors at Geisha in one night. For
Wow.
Jump up, drum and bass.
Holy crap. Fuck.
Yeah.
Jump up as well.
Yeah. So from, fucking shitty doofs 10 years ago to,
Actual events.
huge,
Something legit too,
yeah. The city stuff's like a bit fresher, but yeah.
And still, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's really cool. It's humbling to have such like a crazy following of people who will come see like our DJs play every time, or just at every fucking gig. You see the same faces every time, and you're like, oh shit, bro, you're a super fan.
Do you like give out those, like, you know how on Facebook you can get those medals for like always
The
posting,
badges.
top fan badges and
fan
stuff?
badges.
Yeah,
No,
it's
just
like,
out
here
the
you can have
stickers and
this, like
shit, yeah.
stickers as well.
Yeah, I just got tons of them printed. We just dish them out.
Like, so at Duff's, you're just like, yeah, I know you. Yeah, have a sticker.
Yeah. Then you see it on a Nang cracker fucking a week later, and you're like, oh fuck, that's not good publicity.
Yeah, that's it. So what about you, Ewan? Because I mean, you came on episode like 4 or 5 or 6 or something
I
like.
just started studying at SAE then.
Yeah.
So I've just been and then
Lecturing at SAE.
That's it. I really wanted to dive into that because, like, being a teacher at SAE is bloody cool. Like,
yeah, I mean, like I left SAE with a bit of like I don't want to like come across a bit pretentious. Left with a bit of a reputation.
what, like a
that
bad
electronic guy?
that electronic guy. Okay.
Yeah, like I was a bit of a freak, like with Ableton and stuff. Yeah, Michael emailed us like, ooh. Yeah, it's one of the lecturers there, Michael Unwin, hit us up. To do a guest lecture like Pulp Glitch.
I think it was after we reached out to SAE and EMIS because we want to do like a producer showcase gig and stuff like that. So we reached out to them because we wanted to do this producer centric night.
Yeah.
And eventually they hit back and they were like, oh yeah, if you're going to do that and you're going to have like your headline as guest lecture here, why doesn't Ewan come in and lecture for us?
So
first,
like I did a guest lecture there. Yeah, which I was super nervous about actually. Like
I can imagine, like
freaking out.
Like, how many people were in the class?
Not many. It was like 40 or something like that.
Still
like,
40 people.
I mean,
like, it's not many. Like,
yeah, I was worried because like a lot of it, I was like, I probably don't have anything to offer these people at all. And then I got there, and for like the first hour, I was just like showing a project. And in my head, I'm like, this is the most boring fucking lecture ever. So I started making a track from scratch, and yeah, heaps of people went up to me and they were like, I learned so much. Like, showed me notes, like all this like cool shit. Yeah.
That's really good though.
Like super happy, yeah.
And like, so do you reckon you're gonna dive back into that again?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Like, they said that they'd be keen to have me back for like more. And
well, there you go. Like, you're gonna be a teacher, so.
yeah, I mean, yeah, because I'm like trying to start off a business. I haven't like launched anything or said anything about it yet, but like I want to teach music production online, so that kind of coincides with that business as well. Like having that on my resume is pretty boss.
Yeah, that's very boss.
Yeah.
It's like e-tutty, like electronic tutorials.
Well, let's dive into that as well. So, like, where did you get the name
It was
Eputty?
my SAE username.
It was your username?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
there's nothing magical about it.
damn it! Like, they're gonna get a whole story and like
a lot of
forests and
people ask
mushrooms
that,
and like.
yeah, because I didn't care about the name. I was more focused on the sound.
Yeah.
Like, I just cared more about the sound and like how I was progressing in terms of my production and whatnot.
Mm.
And yeah, I got my SAE username. It was like Eputty. I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah, that's forever now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then like J-Fro, I mean, that's just your name, right?
Yeah, I think my DJ like handled every 20Hz life, and it was the same for me when I did my diploma of sound at TAFE. I was like the one dude who was into electronic music, and all the metalhead dudes were talking about like, oh yeah, what like working out what fits on their knuckles for tattoos and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what are you gonna get? Fucking 20Hz live. And I was like, hey, that's pretty good.
That's all right.
Tattooed on my knuckles. That's a good DJ handle. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, 20Hz life is, you know, it's unique, it's cool, it stands out. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just play on a 20Hz, but what is it? SEO, search engine optimization, which is, you know, all the hotness now. there's one 20 hertz live. There's 5,020
really?
hertzers on SoundCloud. So
Yeah, that's
look
it.
us up,
Yeah. See if Damo can actually pull it up.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys actually meet again? So,
Mutual friend of ours. So we had we're gonna do Naughty by Nature, like our first legal one, like 2 or 3 years ago now.
Big festival,
And we really we went balls to the wall booking the lineup. It was like Cohen Sound, Opio, K-Lab,
oh my
Smith,
god,
Mad Zach. Culprit was meant to come, but then now can't come for personal reasons. And it was meant to be like, there's going to be this huge bass music lineup,
It was like probably the only lineup in Perth that actually
yeah, well, Cone Sound, Opio,
yeah, it was
holy
like I'd never
crap.
seen anything like that in Perth.
Kill Smith, Mad Zach, like all this really obscure shit too. But then we got hammered by. It was meant to be in February, and our insurance turned around. Because of all the fires over East and shit, they turned around and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be like 30 grand to insure the festival, or we're not touching you." With how fire. And we're like, fuck it, we'll do it in the city then. And we copped a huge loss on the gig, but we were like, we've got to put on this lineup. We can't fucking disappoint everybody and not bring this lineup here.
And then, how did you did you just email Colin Sound, be like, hey, come to Perth, please?
Like manager at,
because we've been we've been for all that music in Perth for the longest time. All these acts had come over, they'd do an East Coast tour and stuff like that. And I'd email people, just be like, hey, see you've got this guy touring, blah, 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 and years of that and doing that and low-key bringing them to these illegal parties. And I've managed to link up with quite a few guys in the East Coast who are pretty big in the scene. And for a lot of people, we're the only bridge to the West for that kind of music.
That's
some of the other guys are branching out now and doing some more obscure music, but they wouldn't book the acts we do for headliners. They'd be like a support. Last time Opio was there,
he was played support.
He played at 3 or 4 p.m. at a day party. Whereas we're like, no, he's
easily the heaviest.
He's a headliner.
He should have been the headliner that night.
Yeah, but, holy shit, 3-4 p.m. in the afternoon.
It was fucking sick. It was him and then the Funk Hunters. It was fucking dope. And I could see
Funk
why.
Hunters played that night too. Yeah,
going into the drum and bass, it made sense. But I'm like, man, those are headliners in their own right. But so for a lot of these guys, we're like the bridge to the West, and Paula Batty does Earth Frequency. He's a legend. And every year we've always got something that lines up either side of Earth Frequency, and we'll always pinch a few acts and stuff. We even had Closey here a few years ago, and that was way cheaper than it should have been, but the direct flight to France was back out of Perth, and they're like, oh, well, you booked this $15,000 act for chump change because it's Perth.
That's awesome.
So we just got all these hookups from the East Coast for all these guys that are like, nah, bass music, email Jono,
That's so good though, just being almost the forefront was message this guy and he'll sort you out.
It's one of the few times when being fucking years behind everyone else has really paid off, because we did really get to carve out that niche, and now I'll be the first person to get some of the offers,
So when you were saying as well, throwing these parties and there'll be bush doofs and stuff like that, then when you're booking these acts and you're paying top dollar for these acts, then you'd be running at a loss, right? Technically?
Sometimes, it's pretty hairy when you can't do pre-sales for
those
sorts of gigs, and you're like, oh man, I hope 433 people rock up. I've got 50 pack of me goring otherwise for the next month. It's pretty hairy not being able to do pre-sales and stuff like that.
But you would charge on the door then?
Yeah, of course.
Because I was thinking these are bush parties, so you just it's all free. And it's just rock up and Cone Sound's playing. It's what?
I mean, if anyone from the ATO is watching, it's all free.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I see.
But we've tried to cover, costs generally. And pretty much, I think the one thing that helped us get into position now where we are doing legal festivals and assisting all these guys with legal festivals is whenever we made big bucks, we always put it back in the infrastructure of the next party. I think there's maybe once I've taken home some decent money in my pocket. Every other time it's oh, we can buy more shit for the next party. This is a down payment on, whoever,
It's the way to do it though, because if you reinvest into your baby, then your baby will grow, and then like it just keeps going, kind of thing.
It's not exactly like lucrative. Like people obviously hear these wild stories about like Halloween last year having 2,500 people and stuff like that, and they're like, "Holy shit!" It's like a money printer, but you know,
it's not though.
It's not. It's not. Like I guarantee that party cost them, you know, like upwards of 50K. Like,
exactly. Yeah. That's what's
just mystifying for most people. They get out there and they're like, "Oh, fucking some magical fairies must have set up this 2 tons of truss." And,
that's it. Set up all these lasers and like everything else. Like
fucking a stork must just drop this generator. Off, like,
that's it. Over full of diesel, like
and then on Sunday, I guess it just all folds away and fucking
disappears.
Drives itself home.
That's it. So just click your fucking fingers and it all go on.
I genuinely thought that's what happened.
Is that right?
So many people do. Yeah.
So like you said, you threw your first party when you were like 17, kind of thing. But then like, what happened after? Like, how did it kind of like get to the point where it is now? Like, because it would have been such a learning curve and like, just like emailing people, sorting things out, trying to do everything as professional as possible, and just trying to make it all just happen in a way.
I think we
like,
kind of really hit the ground running because obviously I'd been like a failed DJ for quite a while already. At the point of our first party, I'd had like 1 or 2 gigs at a warehouse rave. Fucking big up Drew Wilson. He gave me my first.
I love Drew.
He's
such a good dude.
Legend, running Blossom now. And shit, like fucking good. Awesome
he
crew.
is a legend.
But yeah, he gave me my first gig and stuff like that. And all I did was for our first gig is I was like, I play heaps of music off Adapted Records. I managed to weasel my way onto their promo list. I was like, I'll fucking message this guy and I'll be like, hey, have you got any up and comers who would come play at our party for the cheaps? And then our very first party we had Cheshire, if you've heard of him. Like 10 years ago. It was his first interstate gig as far as I'm aware.
Wow,
and it was like $700 or not even. It was like a few $100 in flights.
That's
another
really
bloke called
good.
Deefin who doesn't write music anymore, but Cheshire is huge now. And after that, after we booked these acts for the first party, then it was just, I was like, shit, all you gotta do is message people. And for the most part, you're like, hey, I want to pay you to do the thing you do. And they're like, yeah, sick. They either handball you to their manager or they're like, yeah, fucking, let's do it,
And so, like, would they, like, when the handball you to the manager, then the manager's like, this is how much it's going to cost and this and that, and this is what you have to do. Like,
always way more of a hard ass.
Yeah.
Because, they're like...
The business side of it,
Yeah, I can see why everyone has managers because I'm like, hey, bro, we're mates, $500. And it's like, nah, bro, go to my manager. And manager's like, I don't know you, bro. $1,500.
Oh,
like,
shit,
that's it. Yeah, no fee, no show. Like,
Do you ever have to, like, provide the riders as well? Or, like, food or anything like that? Or, like...
the food...
Not so much. Okay.
Sometimes we get the riders and I'm like, hey, just so you know, we can't provide this hospitality rider. It's in the bush.
What's the most someone's asked?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Their rider.
I think Cohen Sound was probably the most hectic.
Yeah.
Thank God that was in the city. Mr. Bill had some weird stuff on there.
Really? You got Mr. Bill over as well?
Yeah,
Shit. Okay.
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Okay.
He used to play with Hutch, the drummer.
But like, what do you mean? Like, there was some weird stuff on there. It was just like specific bottle of
it was
scotch.
Something really weird at the end of it. It was one of those things where you'd rock up to the green room and it'd be like, oh, there's that really weird thing I asked for. I won't check the rest of my rider. It's
like, that's it. Like, they fulfilled my promise. Yeah, that's
really strange ones. Only brown M&Ms, that was AC/DC, and everyone's like, why do they fucking ask for brown M&Ms?
Well, AC/DC asked for that.
Yeah, and then it got demystified many, many years later, like, because we'd rock up to our hotel room, and if there was a bowl of all brown M&Ms, we'd know everything else from our rider was there, like, actually the M&Ms. Yeah.
No way, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, Van Halen.
I was 50% right.
But still, that's hilarious. That makes so much sense. And like, that's ridiculous.
I think the first time we got Bill over, and I don't know if... Well,
I know,
this is a story like touch wood. Like.
Just a very funny rider when he was still very Australian. And has a bunch of, probably like more cowboy stories than he does now. Than he is now, a big American, moved over there.
Oh, so he ended up moving over there and...
So he's living in America and he's like...
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Heaps of the Aussie guys moved over. Slink, it was Aussie, he moved over.
There's just more of
K-Lab hasn't yet.
There's more of an infrastructure.
Yeah.
You can tour US. It's however many.
Well, that's it. And like
They pay there too.
when I used to go to Capital all the time, and I used to hang out with like a lot of the artists like that would come in from America, they just said that they just do seasons. They just go on like the West Coast or the East Coast and just do their summers and their winter. Like as soon as it hits winter, they just like fly somewhere else and do that leg of the tour kind of thing. Like and it's like they can just continuously do that because their nightclubs are so different compared to ours. Like. Well, at least that's what I've been told. Like,
very different from what I've seen, like watching live stream. Even just like the structure of the dance floors and like
it's table service and
everything. Like, very different.
So then, like with all of this, like how is it? Because I mean, like, can we pull up the Pulp Glitchin page if that's all right, Damo? Yep, and the Facebook as well if that's all right. Because it's like. It must be like a full-time job. So is it just you? Or is it like, have you got a crew together that like help you run the whole lot or?
Oh, as far as gigs go, yeah. Like for many, many years, my two best mates, Curtis and Dan, helped me run everything. And that, all of our jobs kind of evolved over the years. We all got dropped off by Curtis's parents once on site following a scaffolding truck, and they were just like, see you later. And then we're just in the bush for 2 days in one tent putting up all this scaffolding.
And then sleeping in that tent as well.
Wow. Because it was just like, we're barely like 17, 18, like just putting on parties. It was full cowboy yeehaw shit. Like
it's just the passion for it though. Wow.
Yeah. In hindsight, it's like we're getting dropped off in the bush with no vehicle there besides us and a trailer full of scaffolding.
It's like someone drives past, like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
42-degree heat, and fuck, I nearly blew one of their heads off with a spud cannon that backfired. Like, I used to be very yeehaw. But yeah, so we ran things like years and years and years, and then eventually we met, kind of linked up with Jeremy, who's running like Evolution now, and he owns Serenity Sound System. And
Serenity Sound System?
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of that.
Biggest,
like the rig that
custom
he's been working
built
on.
built bass rig in Perth by far. It's awesome. No, he hasn't got. He's not good on the Facebooks. That won't be him.
Look up Home Tree.
No. That looks like UK shit. Yeah, I don't think it'd be hard to find a picture of it, to be honest. He's bad at the Facebooks. But yeah, we linked up with him, and then he's got a truck, he's got the sound system. We linked up with all of his crew and stuff, and we just started collectively, between a big group of us, all working on different parts of infrastructure and stuff like that. Like I was always really good at booking acts and writing set lists and promoting. Jeremy did sound and trucks and infrastructure. Then Brahm, who came on later, who's Moonbase events, was the lighting guy. And, we all just kind of collectively. I did my shit, they helped me. They did their shit, I helped them. Like, there's a real good collaboration instead of competition between three crews. It's like one family kind of thing.
That's really good though. And that's the way it should be. Like.
Yeah, and that's evolved like over the years. And we used to run Evolution like very heavily together. And now those boys focus on running Evo, and I'm focusing on getting Rain Dance back off the ground since COVID screwed us.
Oh, really? You used to run Rain Dance as well?
Rain Dance Festival. I mean, we had the one legal festival, and then COVID stuffed us, and then this year just some council venue stuff just like caught up to us like last minute, and we're like, oh, it's pretty unfeasible. And now we've got like a few venue options for next year, but yeah, Rain Dance should be
back in the cards
again next year. Yeah.
So what other events and festivals have you run then? Because I didn't realize Rain Dance is pretty big. Like from what I've seen on Facebooks and socials.
Well, that started because we did tons of events, and all the like illegal one-offs and stuff are barely even worth naming. Like you got a list as long as my arm of all the DJs we've had over, which is what we're most like proud of. By far, but Rain Dance, which is obviously the one we followed through with. Backstory: it always fucking rains at our events. Like we had a thunderstorm and like 30 mils of rain at an Australia Day event.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like that bad, and obviously Earth Dance is like a hell big thing every year, and we're like, haha, it always rains. Let's do this gig called Rain Dance. It'll be funny. And then it was booked on. Whatever the date was, but it was like a full blood moon lunar eclipse, like once every however many years, and it fell on a Saturday. And we had Rain Dance on that weekend, and it was absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
and it was not a drop of the rain. for like the first time in 3 years, and it's the event that like broke our rain curse.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
is
then-
that yeah.
Yeah, and then we did I think 2 or 3 years of that like in the bush, and then we're
Mm.
like, you know what, Rain Dance Festival has a nice ring to it, and it's, you know, pushed on through with it, you know. And the only other one that really followed through that we're going to try and do legally was Naughty by Nature, but that's the one that got shut down by fires and just
Yeah.
And now that we're running festivals and like up the production game and stuff, like feasibly like running more than one festival a year, like
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
No fucking way.
Well, that's it. Like when we got Blossom Crew on, it's like talking about. It's like as soon as the festival happens, like the day after, it's like, all right, let's get back onto the
next
yeah,
one.
let's start planning the next one out and like putting all the budget together and the whole lot. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and because you can kind of follow the footprint that you see a lot of festivals over east follow, is that it'll take them like almost 5 years of running their festival successfully before they're like, okay, this is successful, it's concrete. Whoever the director is can basically step back and leave it in other people's hands.
Yeah.
And they're like, Control C, Control V, copy and paste that event format 6 months apart. We make enough money to pay people to run the event, and everything's there. It's bulletproof. You resubmit the paperwork, but rebranded.
Yeah.
And you see stuff like that with Rabbit Tea Lettuce and now Boho, like Bohemian Beat Freaks, and that's probably the most successful version of it.
Okay.
But running more than one festival a year is, I can't imagine.
Yeah, just the amount of work involved.
Yeah, unless you're making enough money for it to be a full-time job, and even then you'd be out. So,
stressing out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's just like what's happened even today when we had the new announcement. It's like Breakfest and like seasons and
like heart goes out to the boys doing this legal New Year's Eve gig. They find out on the 28th if they can continue, and they just have to keep building until then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you can't get refunds or anything on that, can you?
Well, insurance doesn't cover COVID because it's an act of God or something stupid. Like,
really.
You can get insurance that covers COVID, but not at a boutique festival where there's like 1,500 tickets at $100. Like the COVID insurance for an event costs almost that much, as far as I'm aware.
That's hectic.
And that is, the whole like, so if a plague cancels your event, we will cover all your losses, but that is hectic insurance.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be like top dollar kind of thing. Like.
Yeah. Same with fires. When there's a fire season, they're like, oh.
yeah. So Ewan, how do you tie in with all of this with like Pulp Glitchin and stuff like that?
We just started hanging out, writing tunes together.
Yeah, because it's a record label as well, right?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know how it like sort of happened, but it was definitely after the Common Sound event.
Yeah, so that's where we linked up.
When you were just like fanboying, be like, "Oh my god, gotta be a part of this!"
Yeah. Oh my god, amazing night.
Yeah.
And then we started linking up and writing tunes, and we had like a lot of like similar sort of opinions. And then he saw that I was working on an EP actually. He hit me up, asked if I was going to release a label, and asked him like, "Well, you're going to start a label?" How it happened, he was like, "Yeah, I want to, but
not on my own."
Basically,
yeah.
Like it literally is just mostly us two running the whole record label side of things. It's intense sometimes, like it's a lot of work, but like it's really fun.
What actually goes in? What's involved with trying to like manage and like run a record label?
Well, it's with the workload's really shifted a lot really quickly. Like when we first started, we were hitting like Reddit and like all these obscure
we were
places to find people,
but now people are coming to us.
Whoa. And we just, I mean, there's actually tons of people who've probably messaged like back and forth and just never followed through with. But I think we scraped by with just enough like high quality releases. And now I think like we've got a tune coming out tomorrow. Garlic Party was the best pickup ever. Yeah, he's a local dude. He's a legend. He does all of our art. Like, once he like our cover photo and stuff on SoundCloud, and if you have a look at all our artwork, like you can tell it's all done by the same dude. And he just makes this sick old school ghetto funk, and he's just like, he's got a back injury, and all he wants to do is make music and make art, and it just like worked out so well.
And it's definitely helps a lot with like the entire brand label as well. Like it's really shifted the visual element behind it all, which is really
oh wow, that's sick artwork.
Yeah.
Like that's And so just commission the art, like, you know.
Nah, man, like he just
for
did
the
it for
love,
free.
for the
Yeah, just
most
for the
part,
love of
man.
it.
And we get his tunes mastered. Ewan gives him lessons.
Yeah, so
we
I help
book
him
for
with, like,
sets. It's
his
like a
production.
scratch your back, scratch my back thing. But he genuinely just loves doing the artwork. Because as soon as I saw a few of the things he drew, I was like, I'm never going to ask you to do anything that isn't somewhat in your style. And it's just, you know, like it's so cool. Like it's so coherent. It makes so much sense.
that one wasn't done by him, so that was our first release.
Yeah, we picked it up after
was that done by a guy called Nelly?
Yeah, that's Nelson.
Yeah, that's Nelson. Yeah, because that I can recognize that art.
Yeah,
Like, shout out to Nelly if he's watching. Because he's doing big things, like he's released
big
a
hats.
yeah, that's it, big hats.
Big hats.
Made like a book and everything like that.
I'm so
like,
keen for those brimmed hats to come through.
Yeah.
Try to take a bus with it, dude.
Yeah.
But so like the workload shifted a lot from scouring and finding music, which is originally what like really clicked with you. And I was like, if you're out there looking for music, I know you're gonna find the fucking dons. Like
the good
you're not
stuff.
gonna hit me back with this, you know, like, hey, this fucking guy raps over instrumentals he's bought, you know, like he found some good shit. But now we got like, people sending us stuff, like releases lined up, new Garlic Party tune coming out tomorrow, which is what I was saying, like a Christmas
Even
free download.
Just some of the stuff that we're like doing next year, like early next year as well.
Yeah,
like actually insane.
Yeah, we've slowed down on releases lately because we're working on like this mammoth various artist compilation. I think it's like up to like 16 tracks now. Yeah. Like all Australian based music compilation.
That's sick.
There's some like undiscovered names on there. There's a
like
bunch of dudes.
big names.
Yeah,
really
bunch
big
of dudes
names.
who've like played for us a few times. Like just this mixture of like legends in the Aussie scene and soon to be legends in the Aussie scene, you know. And yeah, like we've released a bunch of drum and bass, but we steered away from drum and bass with that because we just wanted to showcase like
that
Aussie
side of
bass music, more
like
than anything. Every man and their dog is putting out drum and bass at the moment, you know.
Well, that's it. It's like that's what I've kind of realized. Where it's like Perth is just mainly like drum and bass or like tech house and house music at the moment.
Yeah,
like,
and there's so many people showcasing that, you know. So we're like,
but it's so good to actually like, you know, have something, you know, stir the pot a little bit. Not even stir the pot, but just like it's like, you know, it's its own niche outside of that people can go like, you know, I don't have to make tech house drum and bass. Try and make it in Perth. Like,
you know, just like half time that drum and bass speed or slow the tech house down to 110. Like, you know, fucking stretch your comfort zones a little bit, like try something different, and you know, like there's still plenty of people out there who will showcase your music.
So how many hours do you guys spend a week, like on the record label side of things, or like how many hours a week do you spend like just everything music, like if you break it up?
Well, John's pretty busy with work. I'd say I spend quite a while, like at least 2 hours a day. I've been a bit slack over the last week, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but still 2 hours a day, that's a pretty decent effort.
Like, yeah, at the moment it's just been the VA mostly.
The what, sorry?
Various artists.
Yeah, we've just got this big group chat, and it's just basically getting all the tracks ready. And
yeah,
like it is a lot of work though. Like especially like posting and running like social media and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's a full-time job in itself, basically. Like.
Yeah, in some way.
When
like,
it gets to actually promoting and marketing it, it's gonna be.
Yeah. Like and it's just like John and me mostly. Like,
Do you guys ever go through like marketing teams or anything like that, or you do it all
we're
yourself?
Consult with someone on this VA because we really owe it to all these guys who've trusted us with that to do like a cracking job on the release, you know. But normally, like, I don't want to say we're like lazy on it, but like, I mean, we're just going to post the Garlic Party thing tomorrow, and they just organically track plays and get free downloads and get shared.
We've done really well in
people,
terms of like our organic reach, I think. Like we almost hit 1,000 followers on SoundCloud.
Really?
We're really close to it.
Yeah.
Wow. We just found that out the other day. It's like, oh, like...
okay.
1,000 followers in our first year was kind of like the ambitious goal we kind of set for ourselves, and that was without much paid advertising at all, if any, at this point.
It's only been going for a year.
Growth.
Wow. That's awesome though. It's like you set that goal and you're basically going to reach that goal in your year. So like...
Yeah, and to seal it off with this like compilation record, such a good way to celebrate like the label as a whole.
No, 100%, yeah. Because that's the thing, is like, if you know, people are hitting you guys up now, and it's like the ball's like kind of turned around in a way, and people are pitching at you. Like,
I think we can name names. We got sent demos by guys that are on fucking Inspected the other day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like in the UK, and like so we're kind of like figuring something out with them.
Trying to do like a string of shows to coincide with the release, but to get sent like demos by these guys, we were just
like what the heck? Like, I don't know if you know Inspected at all, but that's where like Colin Sound started off. Like,
oh really?
Forward, corporate, like
it's
one of the labels I want to get on. You know? Like, getting that was just
Goals.
like what the heck? Like I got the email. We got the email, and I like messaged John, and like I was like, you need to check your email right now, dude. Like,
have a look. Yeah,
bro, there's unreleased music in there.
So, like, is there many like legal sides that you have to like, you know, kind of like, because when it comes to like, you know, record releases and stuff like that, there's like,
we don't really focus necessarily on the copyright side of things, and like in terms of drafting a contract, like we will be doing a proper like contract thing for the compilation record.
Yeah,
it'll be the first time we've dealt with royalties as well, though. Cause it'll be the first paid release. Everything else up until now has been
just like free
downloads. Yeah,
like pay what you want.
It's better that way though, in a way, I reckon, because like when it's like free downloads, it's like it's getting people's names out there, it's pushing their content out there, and it's just trying to reach in a way. Because like, you know, at the end of the day, if you get royalties, you're only getting like 5 cents, 3 cents per like whatever it is, like 1,000 views. Or something.
That's why we've decided to like push on Bandcamp.
Yeah,
Bandcamp just
and try and coincide stuff with Bandcamp Friday and stuff. Because what you'd make, you know, $1,000 of Beatport sales, you'd be lucky to see like $50.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you get bugger all, whereas Bandcamp, they take a 15% fee, I think.
Yeah, and on Bandcamp Friday, they take nothing.
No fee.
Really?
So like if you make $1,000 on Bandcamp Friday, you get that $1,000.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like very pro Bandcamp.
And that's and so that's every Friday they do the.
Like first Friday of every month. I'm not sure if they're continuing it next year, but
it's been to support artists during COVID.
Yeah, like we love Bandcamp are great, man. Like they just, I reckon they'll keep it going now.
That's a pretty good thing though, because like that's definitely how you get the artists on your side.
Yeah.
Instead of being like Spotify and YouTube and SoundCloud does it as well, right?
I'm real big on like, I mean, we push stuff out on Spotify because it's what everyone listens on.
Yeah.
But like I like Uber disrupted taxis. I think Spotify and Beatport and all these huge platforms that pay artists pennies on the dollar are the next, well, hopefully one of the next industries to be properly disrupted.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Like especially like the way like blockchain technology and all this stuff is, there's 1,000 competitors. It's when it blows up, one of them will lead the pack, you know, and it'll just be like whatever, like NFT dividends.
Let's not go into NFTs.
But, you know, it's a whole thing. But you know, just genuinely, I think that's the way that music and you know, streaming will go. I mean, obviously, this guy who runs Spotify just spent like $100 million.
$100 million on military defense.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Spotify?
Daniel Ek spent $100 million. Gave $100 million to some company to hardware.
Really?
So people were pissed.
Yeah.
like proper pissed.
So this is the head of Spotify.
Head
just
of
like,
Spotify, dude. And the thing that really tipped me over the edge.
That's where your streaming money goes.
Yeah.
This is the military budget.
Fucked up. Like the thing that tipped me over the edge is when he paid like Joe Rogan like $3 million or something like that to like host like the podcast exclusive platform, and I was just like, man, there are fucking people making way more money for your platform, like. And you're not giving them anything, man. Like,
yeah.
So,
and that's what I found so ridiculous as well, because like with the Joe Rogan episodes, they've gone back through and deleted all the ones off YouTube and stuff.
I didn't. Yeah, that's.
Shit.
Like that's the thing is like most of those episodes are kind of gone now, because there's a website called JRE Companion, and you can actually go on it, right, and it categorizes all of his episodes. So that way, if you want to like watch all the history ones, or the health ones, the fitness ones, or whatever, you can actually you can find all those episodes regarding that.
Oh, that's nice. Though.
But the thing is, like, then you click on them, and it's like, oh, YouTube link broken. And it's like, okay, it doesn't exist anymore. This I've been using this for maybe a year, like, no, 2 years now. Because this is kind of like how I got onto doing this shit. See what I mean?
Yeah, you got inspired by Joe Rogan. That's
my brother put me onto him, and I was like, hey, look, I can do that. That's it, but I'll do it live instead. Like,
with less DMT.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm trying to convince a mate who's like got the personality to be a YouTube star. I'm like, man, you just call yourself Joe Bogan.
Joe Bogan. Well, we actually, funnily enough, Yeah, like
we were like playing with this idea of having something called the Bogan Rogan.
yeah, yeah. We started like we did like maybe 12 or 14 episodes.
Bro,
of
yeah,
these.
we were like trying to test it out, and it just didn't work. It's hard to live stream a comedy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly
it's
it.
hard. It's hard. Very hard to live
that's
stream.
just
Something.
when I think the hardest part is going to Christmas dinner and telling everyone you're doing improv.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. But like, it was great though because we had like a picture of Joe Rogan. We had like, you know, he had a hat on where like the corks are hanging off, and like he's got a joint hanging out of his mouth, and all shit,
perfect,
all sorts of shit like that. Like, and it was just supposed to be the play on words, just like trying to make it like a bogan kind of like Aussie comedy podcast thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's in the
capturing
works.
that
Though.
live would be
It was quite hard because like I'd be Damo was the host and I'd be the camera guy, so we kind of swapped in a way. And so it's like whilst they're all chatting, I just look things up for them, and it's like some of the stuff I'm pulling up was like, okay, so like what was the thing about like with the military bunkers and they're like every
Albania?
yeah, please look that up. I love seeing this. It's so ridiculous. Like it's a little bit off topic, and we'll jump back on jump back onto the music, right?
I'm interested to see it. So yeah.
And like Damo knows the story behind it.
So when Albania was ruled by this dictator, Hoxha, I believe is how you pronounce it, Enver Hoxha. He believed that they were at the risk of being invaded by America, so he built 173,000 bunkers throughout Albania.
And it says 5.7 bunkers for every square kilometer. Yeah, and there's like they all got abandoned and stuff like that. So you go to Albania, it's just like
there,
yeah,
dude.
that's it.
Oh, you just have these like random bunkers.
That's it.
Yeah.
So like we had like a whole episode just looking shit like this up like around the world. Like the world's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
hell of a thing. I wonder how many are filled with squatters.
That's it. Well, there's probably like not enough people that live in Albania to even live in those things. They already got homes and
Who's going
stuff.
to man all the bunkers?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I didn't think that far ahead. That's why he lost, man.
Yeah. And like when you take like a plane across Albania, it's like you see all the little white dots. And you're like, yeah, that's Albania. Little bunkers.
Like, oh, those silos? You're like, no,
Yeah.
bunkers.
Yeah, that's
They're
it.
ready.
Just in case of the war. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, back to the music and stuff like that. You said before we started, like to remind you about like the funniest story that's happened at a bush doof or something.
Oh, yeah. I feel
Like,
like
what are
this is
some-
one that needs to be like immortalized on air at some point. Like,
Okay.
now that I like told
Well-
the story that many times.
Yeah, well, time to
Seen
shine.
other
Like.
people tell it, so you get some cookers, to say
Yeah,
the least,
cookers,
in the bush,
yeah.
you know?
Cookers,
It's not like
like-
someone has too much insecurities like hooroo, mate. They are stuck out there with you until they're good. Yeah. But one, it's like the polar opposite of that other Australia Day I mentioned. It was like thunder and like lightning storms and stuff. This is one after the first rain dance. It was like 42 degrees on Australia Day. And then it got to like 3 in the morning and the heat hadn't broken. It was still like 39, 40 degrees. And there was just someone there was selling like this strong as fuck acid.
Lovely.
I had a swig of like a bottle with a bunch of like just a rinse out in it, and like I missed my set before Mr. Bill. I was like, nah, I can't fucking play. I just had to like sit down and get my head straight. And then it got to like 2 a.m. and I've just been like chilling in this chill tent all night trying to get like my fucking head screwed back on.
Yeah.
And this chick comes up to us in this crew area and she's like, hey, are you like the crew? I'm like, yeah, I guess. What's up? And she's like, oh, there's this guy on top of my tent. I kind of need some help. I'm like, oh, do you know him? She's like, nah, I don't know him. I was like, you said on your tent. Do you mean like on or in your tent? She's like, no. Passed out on top of my tent. And I'm like, oh, all right. Just give us a minute. We'll fucking get some of the boys. We'll fucking get him moved for you. She's like, I should warn you, he's naked. And I'm like, all right, that's totally normal. She's like, and I think he shit himself and he's been rolling around in it for God knows how long. So we're just like, okay, like, all right, this just escalated a bunch.
Yeah, now you have to
like,
get gloves out. Like,
come on, young lass. She would have been like 19 or something, like really young, probably her first party. And she's just like, fuck, there's a naked man covered in shit on top of
my
my
tent.
Yeah, like my fucking water and shit's in there. And then like a bunch of us were like just walking towards, you know, where she's leading us. And like I'm like night blind, so I like can't see shit at this point. And then like kind of smell something, and then I see him like feeling like brush past me, like watch the smell wafts past me, and she's just like, oh, there he goes, and she's delighted, obviously, because she just keeps walking to her tent.
Yeah.
So we turn around and we just watch this guy like run straight through the dance floor, like climbs on the stage, like jumps on the decks and starts harassing the DJ and stuff like that.
He's covered in shit.
He's naked and covered in his own shit. Yeah. And eventually someone like climbs up and like Sparta kicks him off the stage, and like a few of the other boys kind of like detain him, and we go and find his friends. And we're like, hey, this is your mate.
It's not our problem.
Your mate, apparently. And they're like, oh, we are so sorry. They were French. I'm not being racist. Like, they were actually French backpackers. It's not just a stereotype. But they're like, oh, we'll take care of him. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, all right, like, if he gets loose again, we are cable tying him to something. Like, he's your responsibility
He's
now.
covered in shit.
Yeah. And they're like, no, it's okay. We'll take care of him. Like, he's with friends now. He's fine. And we're like, all right, cool. Problem solved. And then we get like halfway back to the dance floor, and he just like piss bolts straight past us. And the whole dance floor was like almost anticipating it. As he runs, you watch the fucking dance floor part like the
Yes, you can smell it.
Everyone's just like, oh shit, he's back. And he gets to like a few meters away from like the booth again. And fucking Curtis, who I mentioned earlier, who was famous for not doing any hard labor at the party, just fucking has leapt into action and spear tackles this bloke straight onto the dirt, like fucking meters before he's back at the DJ booth. And everyone's just like, oh shit, he got up and did something.
Save the day.
Save the day. I think we cable tied the dude's hands and hosed him down. And then
good.
His mates had a station wagon, and we put him in the back of the station wagon, and we're like, he's naked, he's not covered in shit anymore, he's still your problem, please take care of him, let us know if you need any water.
It's good you hosed him down, like fucking hell.
It wasn't like there wasn't much pressure, like
it was just like
he was
just
still a
dripping
bit
hose.
shitty,
Still a bit shitty.
but he was subdued, but the boys who were playing the set because he like the first time he fully like tipped over the DJ booth, like tipped over the booth table and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
And I've seen the guys like Dank Stank, big in Perth prog now.
Yeah.
But I've seen them comment like a bunch of times. Whenever anyone's like, "Oh, DJs, what's your worst booth experience?" I swear they've got a copy paster just like ready to go. Just like, man, this guy covered in shit, just like tipped over a whole booth table once.
That's awesome though. That's a good story.
That's one of the better ones.
Yeah, like, do you have any more? Like anything
like
like
the
that?
other ones are like life, like, we've like put out bushfires and stuff like that. Like one Australia Day, someone lit up. It was like 40 something degrees again. This might have actually been like February or something. But someone's driven up the road on the way out, and like, I don't know whether maliciously or not, or just being a fucking firebug, it was like, oh, you know what? It's 42 degrees. I'm gonna light a black boy on fire. And this was on the main road in and out with like 500 people there.
Yeah, and those things go up in flames.
Yeah, they went up. And by the time someone drove in, was like, hey, there's fucking like a fire down there. Like, we just got in the back of his ute, screamed at everybody to give us water and shit. And by the time we got there was spot fires for maybe 200 meters.
Wow.
And we're just like throwing eskies and shit on it and like literally stomping it out like barefoot, like tons of it.
That's good. That
But yeah, all the other stories are like, not as funny, haha, as the naked shitman that's like putting out bushfires, like.
Yeah, like just doing the right thing, like saving the day, like, because if that would have got out of control, it's like. That was now the entrance, right? Or the exit, right?
That was the entrance and exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then everyone would have been stuck on the bloody...
Yeah, it's like if that had got out of hand, it would have...
People would have died.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
when
hectic.
shit like that gets real, and you're like, man, we're so lucky. That was further down the track for us, and we had a crew, we had provisions, we had all these people who could help us. If that had happened when we first started, and we were just being fucking cowboys about it, and, it was the three of us, and party ran itself, it could have been so bad, and it's just when you're doing something of that size, it really like
you gotta have
hammered home the fact that you're responsible for these people's fucking lives at the end of the day, whether or not you make money, they've paid you money to come out there to land that isn't necessarily yours, and you've got to have like at least be responsible enough to have the means to take care of those.
Yeah, it's like fire plans and
whether it is detaining a dude
care.
who's covered in shit, or even a guy who's like, you know, annoying girls on the dance floor. You've got to have blokes there who are like, oh, it's alright, we'll go get him. You can't just be like, oh,
yeah, just leave him be.
just
No,
leave him
that's
be,
a good
know?
thing though, because like, have you ever, like, over the years, because you've been doing it for so long, like, have you ever encountered a little bit of trouble kind of thing, like?
Yeah,
but then like
it's at our parties or other people's parties. Like,
yeah,
you know,
but then it's like straight away you just stomp it out, right? And it's just like just make sure everyone's feeling safe, friendly, okay.
Yeah, that's it. We had one guy at a party once. Without naming names, he was just like, hey, like a guy's just got here, and he's on like the sex offender registry. He's, you know, fucking hurt people in my family.
Oh wow.
And I feel uncomfortable hearing him. Like, that's all right, mate, you got to go.
That's completely fair. Yeah.
And he was actually pretty cool about it. He's like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah,
you know,
well,
he left peacefully, you know, but we did get, you know, fucking rustled up a mob pretty fucking quickly to be like, hey, mate, there's kids here. You got to go.
No, that's
good.
good.
Like, all right, see you later. So, you know, mob justice can be a bit of a thing sometimes. You know?
Yeah, that's it.
Mob rule.
Yeah.
But, you know,
but
the whole community in itself it's not just like we've been doing it for 10 years. It's 50% of the community has been doing it for years and years.
Exactly.
Years,
and it's almost like an unspoken thing where everyone just looks after each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I love about bush doofs. I mean, I've only ever been to 2, but at the same time, all the stories have been told where it's just like everyone is literally looking out for everyone. And like, if anything does happen, it's just like bang, stomped out.
That's it.
That's like I was gonna say, have you ever heard of Nikki Bridge at all?
Yeah.
Nikki Bridge, like, is
Pachamama
crew is amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
Like, for what they do and what they stand for, it's just to make girls feel safe everywhere they go and throw these parties and stuff like that. It's so good.
Yeah, like, it's super niche. It literally, you know, you could get twice as many people opening up to dudes, but just obviously doing it for the right reasons.
That's
and not
it.
for
Yeah.
money, you know, which is really important.
Yeah.
It's actually a hot topic of conversation every time one of those parties pops up.
Yeah.
Some bloke on Perth Doors is always
every
like,
time.
well, why don't us blokes do one with blackjack and hookers? You know?
Really?
Just be a bloke party. And it's like, well, because you guys are safe everywhere you go. That's why there's a women's party.
Exactly.
You know? Sure, you could have a manly man thing, but not because the girls had one.
Yeah.
But, you know, like.
But then also to hire a bunch of hookers to go out like to the middle of the bush.
You know, blackjack and hookers, you know, isn't actually.
Just like set up this massive like blackjack table. It's like, you know, 3 hours inland. It's like you know, just bloke party.
Sounds like a vibe, dude.
Yeah, sounds like a vibe.
I'm
Spotlights,
all in.
like
That's a whole case of nangs.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, what are the age demographics as well that usually that go to these parties and stuff?
Like, I was gonna say 16 to 60, but
Yeah,
that's realistically it. Like,
okay.
I mean, you get oldies coming out, you know, like, and they love it because they don't get judged, you know.
Yeah, they just
Some
party.
of the guys who organise these parties and are fucking out there every weekend working and pushing. Like,
yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's been, you know, like these bush parties have just been around for such a long time by the sounds of it, kind of thing. Like,
yeah, way before my time.
yeah, like even maybe 80s as well, like earlier, or you know, I don't know because you know don't know the history of it.
It's like, you know, friends of mine, I guess, who've now moved on to America and stuff, and they were doing it in the 90s, like, you know, the Mad Monkey crew and stuff like that. There's a few greats from our era who kind of passed the torch on to us. That's like Sarah Hazelden, there's in US now, and Asher Gunsberg, who's like Alchemy Decor, does these amazing shade sail installations over east, like, it absolutely kills it. And Aidan Bayer too, both the big shade sail guys on the east coast are Perth bred, and now like all the shade sails over east at all these huge festivals are done by these two Perth guys. You know, the scene here is really rich.
Yeah. I was gonna ask as well. So when it comes to like decorating your festivals and your parties and stuff, like, how do you go about doing it? Because like, you know, it's not the same thing every single time, right? It's like you try and change it up or add a little bit of spice or do this or do that.
Beast every time. Like, you know, we've learned so many different skills making the decor. Like now with festivals and stuff like that, a lot of it's like CNC cut, it's big carpentry and stuff like that. But you know, there were days or weeks where we'd just be cutting up lycra and tying together bamboo and making all this ghetto shit. Like, you know, yeah. Like we got I mean, I'm terrible at Instagram. We got a like half decent account of like our old parties on Instagram. And kind of see the evolution of the decor, you know.
Can you pull that up, Damo, if that's
I think
right?
it's PG_HQ on Glitchin Instagram. I don't know. Hey,
How did the name come about as well for Pulp
Pulp
Glitchin?
Fiction was the inspiration.
Oh, yeah, of
Literally
course it
watched
was.
that movie.
Tell, dude.
That's it, right?
That's yeah, there we go. Here we see. Check it out. This will have a bunch of the
Oh, look at that. There's
all
us.
that's record label stuff, and then if you go, just let you go further without having the app.
You should be able to go
No, go see all. Maybe on
see
the
all. Down at the
Bottom
bottom?
right.
bottom right. No.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, bloody Instagram just doesn't seem to work that well on
I don't think you can post anything on a
No,
PC.
it's
a
all
nightmare.
app related, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, beneath that, unfortunately, you can all the old photos of our parties and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, the decor is like so varied, you know, because everyone's got their own take on it. Like we learned to airbrush at one point. We got a full kit and we're making stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the amount of skills you'd learn just from throwing these parties and like just like
Yeah.
hard work and labor and the whole lot. Like it'd just be so cool. Like
Yeah, like at one point a few years ago, like Dan, who I mentioned earlier as well, he was like the lead stage designer for a lot of it because he was almost a carpenter, then just didn't follow through with the trade. So having him on board super handy. But we went to Dragon Dreaming Festival, and the only reason I could convince him to come is because we volunteered and got build spots on the build crew for the base stage.
okay.
And then so we were out there for like it was like 5 14-hour days in a row doing build and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Days?
5 days before the festival, 14-hour days, fully fed and everything.
Yeah. But still, you would have been so worn out by the end of it.
But the
Yeah.
amount of cool shit we learned, like, was just unreal. Like the way they use bamboo and stuff there is absolutely like nuts. Oh, what's this one?
This is Dragon.
From I think from a previous year.
And so, like, do you want to get more involved with all of this as well, Ewan, or?
Eventually, at some point. Like,
Yeah.
when I start playing shows, maybe.
Have you already started playing shows though?
No, I haven't.
No, really, not yet.
Just keep
Yeah.
egging him into it.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you know, just get up there and have fun.
Yeah,
It's-
people tell me it's like that, but the more I like work on the music, it's getting to a point where it's like I should
Yeah.
actually play a show.
Well, the thing is, like, you've got the production side down packed, so like,
Yeah, I feel like my
it's-
production's at a point where I can actually start putting together like kind of like what I want to work towards this year. Like actually produce a lot.
But when you say live set, do you mean like just to actually like?
Oh no, just make music unreleased and play it out live.
Yeah. I was about to say, it's like, you know, get the drum kit out and get this out.
I mean,
and
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
When I
That would be
first got
awesome.
into music, I want to be the best. Like I want to like play everything from scratch and make like a sick drum and bass record like on the spot. But like the more I watch like John DJ for instance, like no, I'd rather like focus on the music and play it out. Like, that
Yeah.
seems to be
Yeah,
gratifying
but
as
say
things.
hold his productions to like insane standard. He actually started like making a live set. It was 10 years in the making. Probably need a computer the size of the fucking room to run it, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I get my new PC like this year at some point, so like that's when I'm gonna like start like really taking it seriously.
Okay.
More seriously than I am taking it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, you take it very seriously at the moment as
Yeah,
well, right?
but at the moment, I'm just limited to like this small MacBook. And
Okay.
It's gotten to a point where it doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah, it's
so-
just like the RAM's just like taken up, like,
yeah,
it just
yeah,
lags
It's
and
not good.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I do. One of my like favorite things from having all these acts over the years, like I'm not like Ewan's a fucking weapon. I'm like getting there with my production, but also flying all these acts over is I've always been like I get to see their riders, and I'm a huge nerd about their live setups and how they run it and stuff.
yeah.
And you see that even like, you know, like people like we both look up to, you know, like K-Lab for myself and Mr. Bill for you, and you know, even them when they're running their live sets, both of them have stepped back later and been like, look, it's not really live. Like, you know, I know that Mr. Bill's show at one point.
Yeah, he was
without getting-
completely live at one stage.
Yeah.
Really?
Like when he did his band show, without getting like too nerdy about it, like he had him and the drummer, and in
One of the drummers
Ableton,
from Pendulum, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Andrew, I forget his name, but and he would have like his tracks lined up in like sections of 3, and he would play through those. And that's how he would read the crowd, is he'd play these sections of 3 one by one, and the drummer would know them. But as those three were playing, it was basically like 3 tracks, you know, mixing into each other in arrangement view, and he'd be on the drum pads and stuff like that. But it was just like automation, and the automation would change on his track lanes, and that'd change what instrument his drum pad was playing because he's a drummer by trade.
Wow. Okay.
And he can't step back and reveal his secrets, and it was like, yeah, it looks super live because he's playing the drums, and you can like, you know, the beat will drop and he'll keep playing, and the noise will change to what he's, you know, you can physically see he's hitting the pad and it's making this noise. But he stepped back and was like, yeah, this is so far from live, like it's just me and a drummer playing over the top.
Yeah.
And even these guys who were like fucking incredible are struggling to make true live sets that are produced to the standard that they're tunes.
I feel like
that's
someone
it.
who's got it figured out though is Bink Beats. He's one of those dudes that recreates electronic like live on the spot, like all from scratch
cool.
as well.
That's
like,
very cool.
Because then
Nuts,
you got guys like, was it Beardy Man and Mark Rebier?
Yeah, man, Mark Rebier,
Yeah. He's
Reggie Watts. Have you seen Reggie Watts?
Yeah,
He's my
Watts,
favorite.
yeah,
Yeah, Reggie Watts is pretty good.
Even Dub Effects, you know,
Yeah.
like all the guys who really do like live jam stuff, all beatboxing. Yeah. Just Bink Beats.
Yeah, this is Bink Beats.
So yeah, we can't play the
We
audio,
can't
but we
play
can
the
see what
audio,
he's doing
but,
though.
Yeah, but like, I think that's him like recreating like a Jay Dilla mixtape on the spot. And yeah, he does it all. Like plays the drums, like the clip.
The hat
like,
says Jay Dilla.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think there's one there he does like Window Licker by Aphex Twin.
really?
Yeah, that's up. You show me that. That
Yeah,
is
like
That
he
would've been
nails
nuts.
the snare tone in that. It's
insane cover,
fucking
man.
nuts,
Yeah.
man.
You
Like,
have to send that to me. That sounds awesome. Like,
yeah, but,
'cause
like,
I'm a massive
this
fan of
guy's-
Aphex Twin.
this is who I
Recommended
saw
watching
ages
for
ago.
after this, that Jay
Yeah.
Dilla Aphex Twin cover. It is fucking bonkers.
Yeah, but like this is the guy I saw like when I like started production. I was like, yeah, this is how I want to do my live sets. You know?
Yeah,
But I don't
sit in
even-
the studio,
I, don't even,
like-
I can't even play an instrument. You know? So it's like I'm not gonna fucking get there anytime soon.
Well, here's one for you guys, right? Because like when it comes to live sets and doing this and doing that and DJing and stuff like that, I got told a story that when Empire of the Sun first like started taking off, right?
Yeah.
Basically, like they came to Capitol and the guy, like the main guy from Empire of the Sun, he had 2 MacBooks set up. And they were just like 3.5mm jacks into the DJM, into the middle mixer, right? So he had 2 iTunes set up, right? And then literally like when what? Because this is when they just released like
Before auto fade was a thing.
yeah, that's it. This is like when they first released the Walking on the Dream or album, whatever it is, the one that really launched them, right? Or We Are the People or whatever it was. But they literally, it's just like as soon as one song would finish, you press spacebar on the next one. And it's just like when that song finished, you press spacebar on the next one.
He could at least do a rewind.
Yeah. But it's like just 2 MacBooks set up, and that's how he DJ'd. It's like
Even like watching Cohen sound live, like there wasn't really much like live performance behind it, but it was the actual production value of the set.
That's it, yeah.
It was a
Appreciated.
produced set.
Yeah,
The
and-
visuals were perfectly in sync. He was playing, what was the synth?
it wasn't a Juno. It was a
Prophet.
yeah.
a profit.
Prophet synth, yeah, he's playing because he plays the keys. He's just playing a synth, and they're playing little bits over the top and stuff. But that set is like meticulously produced to match these visuals, which are incredible.
Yeah, I think they
the
put it
light
out on,
shows synced, like
Yeah, they put the recordings out on SoundCloud. Live set.
Okay.
yeah,
It's so
insane.
good, man.
Can you look up a profit synth? If that's right, demo.
I think it was the Prophet synth. Yeah,
It's a Prophet. I'm pretty sure like Opio and tons of guys.
yeah it's
in
the red
scene
one.
use
Yeah,
it,
it's
yeah.
like
Because so many
popular.
people just use Korgs and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, yeah, I've
Big
seen that.
Prophet.
Was it that one? No, it was like a red one, wasn't it?
No,
I
I'm
think it
pretty
was-
sure that's
alright.
it. It's Redwood.
But still, it's like a
Redwood.
classic though. From
Yeah,
They
tons
sound
of
nice,
big
man.
guys in the scene use them. There's a bunch of them. One of my good friends, Jerome, like Octo, has one. And he's just like, hey, check this out. And he's like, goes switches over to a preset and he hits this. And I'm like, I know that Opio song. Yeah.
yeah. So-
No, huge, like beastly scene.
What have you guys got coming out for the future? 'Cause I mean, you got the compilation album coming out and stuff like that. But like any
so what is
new
it?
events or
Garlic Party coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, we've also got that EP.
We're working on,
Yeah, we're
we've just
working
been
on.
so consumed by this VA.
yeah.
We just had an event like this, I guess, more me personally. But we joined up forces with a bunch of our, like, actually pretty much just like our resident DJs basically and good friends, and we started like a theme camp called Funk Bar.
Okay.
And we just had a fundraiser on the weekend, and that was like better than we could have ever imagined. It was awesome.
Is that for Blaze or?
Yeah, for Blaze.
Okay.
So Funk Bar is our new theme camp. a bunch of like myself and crew from all around, like, you know. But now we've got our eyes set on our next one, which is going to be like a bit more. I think I'll be taking a bit more of a lead in the next event, so it's going to be like Funk Asbar X PG, because it's me leading with the whole crew helping. But we're doing an event like late March, early April. It's going to be called Cabaret, like a cabaret burlesque themed rave.
Okay.
We've got a sick venue. K-Lab should be coming, provided Queensland borders are down. Mood Swing and Chevy Bass are going to be coming.
That sounds pretty good.
So that's our next like big event. And we're probably going to start trying to line up a few more club events. We've been talking about a weird bass music event.
Weird bass music event, like like how weird? Like what do you mean? Like
Weird, like we want to use the
weird,
Goodwill at the Wrecker Bike. It's like 120 to 200 packs, non-COVID, but you know 120 is comfortable.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna call it like Church with a V because it's. And just get all these like you know because it's heaps like 140 and stuff like that, but proper like you know really left field IDM-y bassy stuff.
Okay.
Just kind
so
of
IDM is like intelligent digital music, right?
Intelligent
idiot dumb music.
Idiot dumb music. Okay. Yeah. So like, are there quite a few producers in Perth or like just around the place that do make
I
IDM?
think
Or
once there's a few we've got our eyes on, and I also think once we start it up, people are going to crawl out of the woodworks and be like, I have so much shit that I can't play on the dance floor.
Yeah.
That you know, they kind of want to get out there. It'll just be finding the right, showcasing the right people.
Yeah, the thing is because it is weird, like coming out of like straight out of the fucking doors swing.
Yeah. We're like without giving away too much because I think it's a really unique idea. Is we are working on a way to have all these really big acts like overseas and stuff that otherwise couldn't come here, like showcase their music and pseudo perform at the events, which I think will draw in the people we're looking for. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. That's the next one we really want to start up.
Do you find as well sometimes like throwing these events and stuff that like, you know, sometimes it's all about the bill and it's like, you know, who you put on kind of thing? Because like, because you know how like a lot of like, you know, say for example like Seasons, it's all local lineup, but they kill it every time, and it's just like they sell out.
Sometimes it's just location as well. You know, like the difference between a venue that gets walk-in traffic and one that doesn't. You know, is 200 people in a night. Like you know, you do something at Freo, it's all about the bill. You do something at Geisha and not tech one. You know, like it might not even be advertised, and they'll have 2-3 doors on a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. It's so many factors, I guess. Like if it's raining and everything.
I think is really detrimental, like talking about who's on the bill for the Perth scene, is all these like, and I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes is booking people because they, you know, like some people you're like, I know they're going to bring 30 or 40 friends, or when they post this is going to reach heaps of people. Like I would love to book so and so, but I know his girlfriend is going to come see him, and that'll be it. You know, like so it's really tricky because you got to find a balance between having a successful event and booking DJs who do sell tickets. Undiscovered guys can get hurt.
It's really unfortunate with that sometimes, because it's like sometimes it's like, you know, they're just like they were really popular in high school kind of thing, but then like, you know, it might be average DJs, and then like you got someone who's like really really good DJ or like knows how to throw a wicked set together, but then they bring 5 people. Like.
You know, and they'll get booked. So it's a delicate. You got to walk the lines, you know, because everyone's got bills to pay. Promoters and artists, you know, if you get 30 people to your first gig because you booked all these guys who've never been booked before, like as nice as that is, might not have a gig after that, you know, and so you got to successful and longevity of the event.
That's it. But also, like, you know, sometimes it's just good giving someone a go kind of thing, because you never know where they'll actually go in a way. It's like, you know, for example, I got we had Joan and the Giants on. And like they're like a local like folk kind of band kind of thing,
shit.
And it's like now they're getting like plays on Triple J.
That's sick.
And it's just like literally like I interviewed them when they were kind of like they've done quite a bit of a tour and they've done this and done that, but now it's like they're just like blowing up. I was like, hey, I knew them.
You're like, oh, they came on my show once.
Yeah, that's it. Right?
They were on episode 5.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then 100 episodes later, you're back. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun though, like just throwing these festivals and like, you know, running the record label and everything like that. Like,
I'm really excited for next year, like
Yeah.
especially with the VA
yeah.
and like the thing we were talking about before, like the demos that we got guys like from the UK. It's just like, yeah, like shit's getting like
We're looking at expanding the team a little bit more so for people to help me run events because I work it's now, but also means I got the money for these events, you know, because they're not always.
if you don't mind me
Money
asking, what do you do for work?
I sell TVs.
You sell
Good
TVs?
Guys, Cannington.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're just flat out
Come
just
see
selling
us on
TVs.
Boxing Day for
Got to
a
get
good
that
deal.
commission, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's all that keeps me fucking going through the days. Black coffee and commission.
oh yeah, you talked about your fasting
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
at the moment.
Fasting?
I've been like fasting, like 1 meal a day fasting, and my boss is like, "What? Take breaks." I'm like, "What am I gonna do? Sit there and be sad about not eating lunch?" She's like, how do you survive a whole fucking day at work?" I'm like, "Black coffee and commission."
This guy
Lovely.
drinks way too much cold brew as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Black
shitload,
coffee.
Yeah.
Like
Just stay awake and alert.
when we were
Yeah, it probably contributes to why I'm fucking so anxious.
yeah, probably.
I
we
don't
were
know.
we were in the city like before we launched the record label, like maybe a couple of months before. I don't remember what we were like working on, but yeah,
They were just touching base about his EP and like.
yeah, just like
Yeah.
figuring things out, and then we'd go to this place called Game City to get a favorite place to get coffee.
Mm.
I think the guy cut him off at
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, it's called Nitro Brew, and it's like a big tall glass.
Yeah,
and
it's like six coffees
shots
in
of
one.
coffee in one
Holy
cold brew.
shit.
And then
How many does he
we
have?
chugged one of those, went back to the library, and then came back like 2 hours later, and I was like, "Can I get another one?" And he was like, "I'm not selling you another one." After this." He's like, "No," he's like, "You're not meant to drink 2 of these in a day, but you know, whatever."
Holy
Um,
fuck.
Yeah.
So like for me, like that would make me buzzing off the walls kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I'd drunk a lot of coffee, but yeah, 2 nitro brews. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
slow down.
Yeah.
You're like,
What
holy
the fuck?
shit, like your heart. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I played League of Legends. Sun came up.
Yeah.
But
I'm
also
not
went back to the
surprised.
library and I was like, man, I feel like we just did 3 months work.
Yeah, because we used to go to the library quite a bit actually. I remember one
Still
time meeting
fun
at the
day for
library, and then he played me that Nodal tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and I
Got
don't know-
Library nightclub, right?
Sorry, no.
We
Okay.
worked there.
Yeah, we did work at
briefly, yeah.
library nightclub at one stage.
Oh
yeah.
really?
But
Both.
both of us
Yeah.
didn't go back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had one
Yeah.
shift there, and the computer stopped working, and the guy that was training me off was like, "Yeah, I told the manager at night." They were like, "Why is the upstairs speaker not working?" I thought the guy had told you that upstairs was closed. And like I had like security hounding me like, "Get the computer working." And I'm like, "I'm not a fucking computer expert, dude. I can't fix that, man."
Wow.
Like, yeah, that was a stressful time. So like,
Yeah.
and then I was like balls deep in my bachelor degree as well. So I was like, I can't work like on a week AM,
Yeah.
especially when I've got like early morning starts and stuff, and I'm working all day. Like,
That's it. Yeah.
I'm glad I did that because I ended up getting HDs, so I was like sick.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
HDs is pretty good.
Yeah,
And then what about you? Like you worked there once and then you was like, nah.
I worked there once and I handballed the job to Ewan.
Yeah, it's like not my cup of tea. See,
I
alright.
worked at Shape for like a year and a bit, maybe like
Yeah.
like just before I turned 18 until I was almost 19.
Shape was so good. I only went like
Closed
a
now, so
handful of
I
times.
think I can say that I shut down anyway.
Yeah.
I can imagine that would like have given you lots of good experience.
Yeah, no, the big ones
Live
was
bands.
that was back when Big Ape and Switch were
Yeah,
a thing,
Big
and
Ape
they
was
were
huge.
instrumental in the Perth music scene. They were huge. Zeke Beats used to be a resident DJ there.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, but no, the craziest one like that was like that really just dived headfirst. I was like, this is fucking sick. But I think it was a Future Music. They had the afters there one night, and it got
Future
to like,
Music.
yeah,
Oh,
like,
shit.
that long ago. And they had like a afters there one night, and then they closed at 2 a.m. But all the DJs had come from Future Music and we were all there, and they were all like, "We're not leaving." And the boss was like, "All right, mate, you're in charge. No matter what they tell you, do not turn it up." And then I think it was Boys Noise or something like that. It's
Wow.
like, bro,
Oh my God.
is that a computer? I was like, yeah. He's like, I need to download some tunes onto a USB right now. I was like, because I literally, they were playing like all these big dubstep DJs playing like the instrumental hip hop and like jazzy, like
Yeah.
real like low tempo shit, you know. And then he's like jumped like stolen the lighting computer off me, logged into fucking Dropbox, downloaded this file onto a USB. Then he's like, "Can you delete that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll get to it." And he's like, "No. Like, delete that and empty the rubbish bin in front of my eyes. I have to know the music is not on that computer." And I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Holy crap! Yeah.
That was quite cool. I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
actually getting to make boys noise. Like,
bro, Spore was there.
Spore as
when
well.
He played under Spore. He was like so. I don't know if it's like bad manners to talk smack about him. It was pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious, but he got written off that night. Like,
really?
He obviously had a big one, and then like, everyone's like, "Yeah, Spore's about to play," and he's like going to cue in his first track, and he's like, CDJs are on an angle, and he's slamming the cue button so hard. He's banged the RCAs against the back wall, and the RCAs were snapped off on the CDJ. Oh. And this happened heaps, so we had a magnet, and we fished out the fucking, like, the tips and stuff, the little thing, and fished them out. And then we put another set in, and then he started doing the same thing. And we're like, "No, bro, you cut off. You can't play."
Sorry, Spore.
Yeah, because he'd stolen a whole litre bottle of Grey Goose from behind the bar, and he'd just been like drinking it straight. And the manager came up and was like, "Hey, mate, do you steal a bottle of fucking vodka from behind the bar? Like, I just need to know so I can invoice your manager." And he's like, "What are you talking about? What does it mean?" He's like, "Mate, it's right there." And he just, like, he grabbed the bottle and he just jumped, and like, it's like a ceiling, like if you fist pump and jump, it's like styrofoam ceiling. He's just jumped and literally just jammed the bottle straight through the ceiling. It's just like a vodka bottle shaped hole in there, like so right above the DJ booth. Yeah.
That's awesome though. Stories like that. That's sick,
so shape was a hell of a thing back in the day, and that's how I knew. I was like, "No, you're on this library job, yours." I've done my stint. You might learn something.
So, like, I gotta ask as well. So, like, with like running the record label, like, so what have been some like the challenges you guys have faced over the last year?
Nutting out distribution.
Yeah, distribution
which
was a bit
is
of a
shockingly easy, but
when you say
starting out, it was a bit like
bit
how you
shaky.
going, you know?
But when you say distribution, like, what do you mean?
Like distributing to things like Spotify,
like
Okay,
iTunes,
yeah.
Apple Music, Deezer, whatever.
Isn't there like a website like called the Anchor FM and we'll do it all for
we
you?
use DistroKid, yeah.
DistroKid's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Big ups DistroKid. I got recommended to them by, I think it was Father Funk.
And like, is it just like a monthly subscription or something like that?
Yeah. I pay yearly, and I recently had to pay a big chunk because you pay a small amount for up to 5 artists, and then you pay a lot for more than 5 artists.
Yeah, now we've got more than 5 artists.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much would it be for like more than 5 artists?
I think it's like 300. It's not tons, but you know, it's like when you're not making money off the label, I think it's like $300, $300 US.
The thing that made it hard
sure.
though was like sussing out the best sort of distribution. Like and DistroKid was the best for it. Like
return
on it. You're barely making any money.
That's it. If it's all like free downloads and stuff like that.
Yeah, but now we're like moving on to Bandcamp, and like especially for the VA, that's going to be like a paid release as well.
Yeah.
If we made enough money off that release to just cover the master.
How much would it be for like a mastering?
We're currently like working a deal with the mastering engineer. It's Dan at Sick Master.
Okay.
DKS. He is
the Don. He does the sound for Arcadia. He just masters Bill's album.
Yeah, he's just
he
mastered
does
Mr. Bill's
sound.
OPO too.
Okay.
Like
Wow,
he's
alright.
And is he local or is he?
No, he's in Bristol.
Bristol. Okay.
I think Bristol, somewhere in the UK. But like we've got like a good relationship. Like, look, I'll work with you to get the track sounding solid, and then like work out like a cheaper deal, like make it a bundle. I send people his way all the time anyway. So yeah, probably.
That's not bad then.
Because if we kind of get everyone to a similar like mixed down standard, then he's like, cool, I'll sit down and do this in a day. Yeah. And a lot of it's going to go through the same process rack, you know, and he's just fiddling in between tunes. It's not like he's got to dial everything in individually for all the tunes.
And surprisingly, like a lot of the tracks didn't need.
Yeah.
Like for the people that are watching that don't really get it, like, so you make the song right, but then like you send it off to the mastering engineer to like what is the master?
So basically, mastering is getting the track up to a quality standard where it's streamable.
Okay.
Sounds good on a big sound system.
Yeah, that's
like,
important.
Etc. Like,
so you want it to be as loud as like I guess
Mm.
Also just sounding. It's like a friend told me like a really good way to explain it. It's like giving someone a painting of a person. What a mastering engineer does is sort of add like the finer little details that make it come to life a bit better. Like
Okay.
that tiny little shade there. So he's probably cleaning it up a little bit, enhancing what's there, like widening it.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're getting one mastering engineer to master installation is so it's cohesive listening.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of different
Okay.
yeah, like everyone's got different styles, like tastes and mixed down that final ear to finish off.
And then so like with different like people that master tracks and stuff like that, they have like just like different sounds, I guess. Like different
Yeah,
ways
so
they
this
can
guy
master.
in particular has a very distinct sound.
Yeah.
That's why I love him. Like I'm at a point now where I'm starting to hear his sound a little bit more, and he's got all this like hardware as well that he uses to give him the sound that he wants.
Yeah.
So he's got like a little bit of.
I've always found that though. It's like when you've actually got proper hardware in front of you, like synths or like, you know, like just drum rolls or anything like that, it's so much easier to actually like, you know, put things together in a way.
Yeah.
It's like when you're sitting there on a laptop and it's like tweak this bloody knob kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I feel like especially with like because you don't need to have a
laptop.
Yeah, I'm all on a laptop and shit. So I'm super, if I had hardware, I'd be a beast.
But like, have you ever thought about like going out and buying like a little like?
I gave an old APC 40, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, but like the type of hardware I want, like maybe like some sort of like analog EQ is like 10K. Like
Okay.
10 grand, you know what I
Shit,
mean? Yeah, so
okay.
that's why like a good mastering engineer will probably cost like even up to like $500 a track. It's
Really?
purely because of the hardware. It's like you're paying for that sound.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't expect it to be that much. I thought it'd be like $100 or something like that. Or
Oh,
200.
look, we
Yeah.
pay. I think
We
its
pay, like,
standard
one-
rate is 120 pounds a
Yeah.
track for Dan. We get like a bit of a label deal, but we obviously send a lot of music through him.
But
Yeah,
so
so
that works
he-
out to be like $300 though as well. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
Yeah, it's not cheap,
16
but-
track album, it's kind of like, yeah, we got to like work out some kind of deal.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then even with that though, I can understand why you're gonna, you know, you actually sell the album kind of thing.
Yeah, it was
I
a
think
bit
I
of
feel
a.
the artists have put their hands up and been like, "Hey, we are more than happy to contribute." 'cause
Yeah.
it's-
They want to be a part of it. Kind of.
Yeah. Originally, we were thinking like something to do with like charity or like a pay what you want. I reckon we should actually sell this back to the artist, back to the label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about doing like a fundraiser to try and like help fund the record label a bit more? Kind of.
We're kind of dabbling on some more, I guess what you'd call corporate stuff, like Adventure Hire Perth sponsored TM, whatever.
Jet skis.
Yeah,
like.
jet skis. We're actually talking to them because we've built this big stage trailer and it's like half done. It's my firstborn child. It's called the Big Bad Wobbly.
Mm.
And we're looking at like
He's pulled,
there
he
we
pulled it
go.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got a really good relationship with the council, as far as I understand. What we're looking at doing is like a sponsored beach party with them, where we take the trailer out. We do like a legal beach party. They've got the jet skis out and towing people on donuts and stuff. So we're looking.
That
at doing
sounds
a bit
amazing,
More like,
though.
like that's kind of like corporate, you know, like that's with the sponsor. With
I just
whatever.
want to ride a jet.
No, that's it. Right? Just get towed behind. I'm just on a
We're out there on
donut.
jet skis. We're getting some promo footage, like you know,
That's
for
it.
sure.
E-party on a jet ski, dude.
Yeah.
Waving around. It's like.
Yeah, it's like him, and like, you know, it cuts to him, it's like gold tooth, and there's a big thing,
Yeah,
and he
that's
just
it.
can't start it. But yeah, and like we make some money off the club events. We generally like pocket a little bit of money, but like I said, a lot of that goes
straight
just
back
towards
into it.
running costs and stuff like that. But I do really want to do that cabaret I mentioned earlier will kind of coincide with some releases and will be a bit of like a PG Records showcase and theme camp fundraiser. So at the same time, it's going to be a fundraiser for us and the theme camp with, you know, pretty much all of the funds we make set aside to either go towards the trailer and mastering and go towards our theme camp.
Mm.
Yeah, the events do kind of pay the bills a bit, but I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be working for a lucrative business. You've got to be pretty successful to be able to step away from your day job.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And even then, Corona.
Yeah.
You know,
Good old
like,
COVID.
you know,
Yeah.
there's people who had multi-million-dollar businesses and events who are probably sleeping at their mum's now.
Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
just threw everything up in the air. I was gonna ask as well. So like, when you go to run these events and stuff like that, like, is there a lot of like computer heavy work where it's like, you know, accounting or budgeting or just trying to make sure that everything's like, you don't spend too much kind of thing?
I like to think I make half decent Excel spreadsheets. But that pretty much just breaks down to like at the bottom, it's like sell this many tickets, and I'm like, all right, good deal. I really need to see an accountant, to be fair.
I can imagine everyone that runs events needs, like, you know, you have to sit down with an accountant and be like, okay, like, how can we make this more viable, kind of thing.
I would love to say I've done. But,
yeah.
But no, it's just
it's in the works.
It's a few of the guys I work with a few times have been like, whoa, man, let's not book Noisia or, you know, whatever. Like, maybe don't spend the extra 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know, like, really.
It's Noisia,
Tone me back.
That's it. That's it.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. That's it. That will sell tickets.
Generally, the people around me who'll reel me in and be like, well, bro, I know you really like that artist, but no one else has ever heard of it. No one else is going to fly them here. Like, when else am I going to see them?
That's
like,
it. It's like, it's all for me. Like, I want to see them.
Like,
trust me, like, they'll see their set, then they'll love him after. So
yeah. And then, when we bring him back.
That's it. We break even then.
Yeah.
You guys had JFB here, actually.
Yeah,
JFB,
that was awesome.
JFB?
Okay. He just won the DMC Turntable Championship.
Really?
He's a weapon.
He is an absolute weapon.
Is he Australian or is he?
No, he's. I can't remember.
He's American.
Yeah, no, it's John Paul Mark. I think he's I couldn't tell you where he's. I know he's got an accent, and I know it's John Paul something.
UK. Listen.
Yeah, you'll see even like. Because when we had him over, he was like, the crowd's got to be able to see my hand. Because if you just listen to this, it's not impressive.
Yeah.
But when you can actually, you've got the
like
feedback of watching what he's doing, you're like, holy fuck.
Well, that's what makes a live set so good sometimes.
Yeah,
you actually see them they're not just, you know, just playing on CDJs. It's like, holy shit, there's a
like
guitar up there.
Yeah.
Like when I was at Breakfast, like when Big Beats was playing and all my shred it right now.
He's a weapon. When he was playing like at Shape when I was there, I was chatting to him, and because he always had his machine, which I use now as a singer in the studio, and he was a complete weapon on it. I was chatting to him, I was like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, I mean, I only actually use it because I'm sponsored by Native Instruments.
Just casually slip that in there.
I have to make sure I use some of their equipment every gig. He's like, it is really great. And I was like, you're fucking sponsored by Native Instruments? And
yeah, like I wish I was.
I saw him setting up.
Yeah.
And then I watched him play on it. I was like, I would. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, like he's a weapon. The live performance is such a huge aspect of it, you know. Like stage presence can only take you so far, and it's nice when you see a DJ has got good stage presence. It's way better when you've got visual feedback to them, because you hit play on a CDJ, the song plays. When you see someone playing drums or playing guitar and you've got visual feedback, it like completes the experience. Yeah,
that's it. It's like I've been saying this in the last few podcasts. It's probably like one of the last times I say it, because Damo's probably sick of hearing it, right? But like stage presence, it's so key. Like for me, whenever I go out and play in Scarborough Beach Bar, when I used to drink quite heavily, right? Like I would
do you still play at Scarborough Beach Bar?
Yeah, all the time.
Shit.
Yeah, like
we're literally around the corner.
Yeah, we'll come down Saturday nights, like
Sunday night.
Saturday and Sunday I usually play.
Shit.
Yeah, and like I turn that place into a rave cave on Saturday nights. Like,
shit.
Yeah, and like I literally can get away with playing whatever I want on Saturday nights. It's pretty good. It's like amp up the crowd, and then I mean throw Calvin Harris in there a couple of times, but just like.
No, we like
2 weeks ago.
We would have literally walked past and heard. I was like, "Oh, that's actually like some dirty like electro bangers." What's going on?
2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I played like, you know, Voodoo People kind of thing. Like literally like crank it up kind of like in a way. But I was gonna say like what I'll do is I'll put a long song on like Blue Monday by New Order or something, and I'll run down to the bar, and everyone's like, "What the hell's the DJ doing?" He's like, run down to the bar, get 2 shots of tequila, run back to the DJ booth, and then put the tequila song on. And it's like, you know, it'll be like 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And then it's just like, okay, tequila. And just like have a shot of tequila. And everyone's like, this fucking DJ. Like, he's ready to party. But that's what I mean. It's like, it's stage presence. Like when you're like interactive like that, you don't even have to talk to the crowd or do anything. You just like, I'm just gonna party my ass off and have a good night. People see that and they just want to stick around.
They pick up on it.
It's
It's
the
it's
vibe.
something to watch because people like when it's nothing to look at. You're like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Still
Do I
think
just
my
look at the funny
favourite
light?
in
Like-
terms of that was probably Opio. Like, there's specifically one point of his set where he kept like hitting the snare, and then he'd like slow down. And then everyone was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then he stopped, and he was like, "Have I got your attention now?" And then
Really?
everyone like cheered.
It's
Yeah,
just like,
That's
yeah, dong, yeah,
Dong.
dong.
that's sick though.
Yeah, and I was like,
Dong,
"What
dong,
is
yeah.
going on?" And then
Yeah.
he grabbed the mic and he's like, "Have I got your attention now?" And it was like, "Yeah, yeah, you do."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the BPMs just dropped.
I think as far as live performances go, his is like
yeah,
by far the best. Like he's
he
absolutely
crafted that. Yeah.
nailed it. Like just so on point.
But that's what makes everyone like people like that stand out amongst the rest in a way.
Yeah,
Because they've actually got their live show kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's like Bloody Beetroots for a while. They actually had a whole I think it was 4 or 5 piece band with Tommy Lee Jones on the drums.
yeah.
And it's like when they came to Perth, that's just like, okay, this is like a rock concert now. It's like it was stereos, but it
It's
just like
we
turned.
saw Infected Mushroom, and all my
That would have
friends
been
were,
so good.
yeah, all my
Yeah.
friends were like, we don't even like psytrance. It's not even psytrance.
No,
they
it's
play as a
Infected Mushroom,
band.
right?
It's not really psytrance. I'm like, that's why I'm going.
Yeah.
And it was fucking out of this world.
Mm.
So I just speak a bit loud.
Ah.
That's fine. They can hear you. They're just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got like 5-10 minutes left anyway as well. Do we have any comments?
We have a lot of
a
comments.
lot of comments.
Oh, shit.
All
All
right.
let's blow through them, I guess.
All right. Let's. Here we go. Oh, shout out to
Oh,
Emily.
Dirty Acid Beats. He was
It sounds lit. Dirty Acid. The city stuff is a bit fresher. J-Fro. Fifi Aida. Legendary homies. Would you hook me up with the Twitch Prime Son? bro. Some obscure drink and 3 chicks that are keen.
That was it. That was what's on the rider that I'm not allowed to say.
What? Really?
Yeah, that was on the.
Yeah. Hello,
That's it.
Alex. Who
Is
said
it
hello,
Is
Alex?
it all?
Wait, who said hello? Oh,
Dirty Acid, Alex J. You've
oh
met him
okay.
before,
Oh yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, yeah. Hello.
And Alex G goes, can't watch here. Max Zonneveld.
What the hell's Matt saying? I'm a faggot.
That wasn't him.
Dirty Acid, cut out the you are Matt, implying a dating over.
Gay way.
Nah,
That is trolling now.
NFT for the win. Hi, Ryan.
Oh, Jar Jar. Yeah, Jar Jar is the one who is Stank. That's the boys who had the naked shipment.
Yeah, he's had
Shit,
shit yesterday.
man.
Yeah.
Assault their danks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My left, no again. My hero. Damn, that was the same party. I'm pretty sure. I think it was. Some digger lit that fire and drove off.
Yeah.
Easy buddy, down pack, big love guys, Prophet 6.
Yeah,
Prophet 6,
audio
there
is
we go.
big.
Jerome's the one with the dope synth. That is the one that Cohen sound, and Opio is the Prophet 6.
There you go.
He's always a bit quiet, and the movie mic's
Does
dead.
Tamo also? Yes, he does.
Yeah, Damo can deliver pizzas,
Ewan
yeah.
Square.
You wouldn't blow a square. And hi.
He does,
Hi, Ryan.
He blows a good square.
Yeah. Go on, give it a go.
Oh, you want me to blow a square?
Yeah, can you
I'm
do
doing
it?
live, man.
Yeah, go on, do it live.
It's got to be
Do it
pre-professional.
live. Here we go. Go.
Alright, go.
Oh, you got
It's
yeah.
got to get wound up for it. It's got to get ready.
And do you mind if I close that door?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
You can't have the neighborhood knowing his secrets.
Yeah, you can blow squares.
It's only for those tuning in.
Alright, party time, Ewan.
Oh, this square is sponsored by Adventure Hire Perth.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
gonna do this on the jet ski.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Square.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was expecting like the whole
Yeah,
like
everyone
Gandalf
does,
like
yeah.
fucking like ship or something like that. Nah, it's just a square.
Physically blows up.
Yeah, lovely.
I don't know if that looked any good on the camera.
Probably not. Like, yeah.
Yeah, ask him to, if you see him, ask him to
Well,
do
there you go.
it live.
It better be good. Oh yeah, Dirk's into it as well. That was
if
a
you like
sick
that,
square.
go listen to Eputty Gonna.
Can we actually play a few of your tracks?
Yeah, I mean, we've
yeah.
got a few minutes closing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, how long does it take for you to make a song as well?
That Con Sound remix, I finished that in a couple. As usually take.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the tune. Like, if getting in the weirder sort of shit.
So, like, when you say it takes forever, like 7 days, like a month,
No, like I've had one track I've been.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it takes a while.
And so, like, what you just like go to it, you try and adjust
I
things
think-
and go back to it, I guess.
I think the problem is like conceptualizing what it actually.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of struggle.
So it was drum bass track. Now it's a
Yeah, I
techno
was like, I
track.
don't
Now
even
it's a
know what it
glitch
is
hop.
anymore, like,
Yeah.
What am I writing? Like,
Just IDM, right?
Yeah, why do I make music? Like, if I put the IDM brand on it, it's intelligent.
Yeah.
I
But,
was
So-
about to say, we've both got. Have you got that Google Drive link I sent you?
Oh, yeah,
We've
yeah.
got some unreleased stuff in there. Yeah.
play the Laser Horse one, man. That Laser
I was
Horse
gonna.
thing.
Your
Right,
one's,
what are you doing?
Your one's cracking.
Okay, yeah, we'll play
Oh.
that one, man.
Okay, why are we getting issues with that mic?
There's a little bit of my issues with that.
That's the name again.
Sassy the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
The little stoner cat.
That's right.
So how many tracks have you released now, Ewan, overall?
10?
That's not bad. That's
Yeah. I was talking to my housemates about it today. It's like I've released a lot of tracks in just.
yeah. Yeah.
Really excited
Yeah.
to get that one kicked off.
And like, so what's the quickest time it's taken you to make a track? Because I mean,
1 day.
1 day.
Yeah, 1 day.
What, just like 5 hours, 6 hours,
Yeah,
or
like so the way I work is like I usually get up super hours, half hour break, so shit post on Facebook. I don't know.
yeah.
And then like I'll go back for like another 2 hours and I just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Hello?
Apologies, bro.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and just like basically work on it until I think it's finished.
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it though, as well. Because
Yeah.
it's like if you just go at it for like 4 hours straight, you just drain yourself.
Well, yeah, like if you just like get rid of all distractions for like 2 hours or something like that, you can get a lot done.
Yeah.
So usually
So you
that's
just
what I
turn
do.
your phone off.
Turn
Turn
the
everything-
internet, turn notifications
Yeah.
off and shit.
Everything
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's a bit weird. Like some tracks have taken me ages. Like the EP I was working on, I initially finished like 3 tracks from it in a week because it was all I was doing. Like so, it was just like smash that out, and then I sat on it for a good while, then went back to the tracks, and now like I said, it's like conceptualizing it as a whole, like the project itself. How does this actually fit together?
Yeah.
And now it's just this one track that has like guitar recordings, and we're going back and forth with another producer. He's insane.
Oi.
His name's Ben.
Is he local from Perth or?
Yeah, he works at Vision
He's
Recording
a
Rehearsal.
weapon.
He's a weapon. He did release with Liquidity once under the alias Beloved in Love.
Okay.
Him and Sam. Sam's working on like some video game thing apparently, and that's like pretty huge. But they are like proper like sick.
Yeah.
When I met Ben at SAE, it was just like he showed me one tune in my. Now we're at a point where it's like a
Oh man, he's got
equal
this
exchange of
one
knowledge.
whip he showed us. and
Yeah,
we've
the
been
dial tone
heckling
one?
him.
Yeah.
It's like
Dial
I
tone.
made this drum and bass tune with like a dial tone in it.
Yeah,
and it's like TC's
nuts, man.
Where My Money, but like in the 21st century. I'm like, if you put this out, it's gonna be a fucking anthem, and I will
Yeah,
not
like
stop heckling
proper
him
proper
for-
anthem, dude.
Like it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, he should put it out. Like 100%.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
and it was like what I was saying before. Like
Hope
sometimes,
he's watching.
yeah, put it out. You fucking like, nah, but yeah, like some people just have like trouble like conceptualizing it, and also like, especially like where he's trying to aim in terms of his mix downs and stuff like that as well. He's like
Oh, goalposts.
pretty
fucking
critical
bars way
of
up
his
here,
art. So
yeah.
sometimes like yeah, he'll just keep working on it and then he'll put it away and just like not touch it for ages. It's like, dude, you need to go back to your stuff and finish something, man. Like,
Yeah. That's the thing. When you make your own music, you get your own worst critic in a way.
yeah.
You gotta like show other people and like just be able to go.
And
like,
I think the
what do you
first
think?
step, like quite literally for that stuff, is to just put something out there. Because once you, like John said this to me actually, it's like once you put something out there, you go, shit, I can do better than that. I have to I have to show that I can
and
do
it
better
drives
than that.
you to
Yeah.
release something
Yeah,
better.
that's
When
why
you've
I
got
put-
nothing out there, it's like this huge hurdle. You're like, I've got to show people my music. Then once you release it, you're like, there's one or two guys in particular. We're like, bro, just put something out.
Yeah.
And once you've got it out, you'll be like, I hate that now, but the only thing I can do is release something better. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just keep sitting on
Well, see,
it and
that's what I
putting
do
it
with
off.
my DJing as well. Because,
Yeah.
like, I record every single DJ set. Everywhere I play, I record, right?
Yeah.
And so I think I've got... Can you actually pull it up, Damo, and see how many I got? I think I've got, like, 820 or something now mixes up online, right? But the thing...
on Mixcloud or something.
Yeah, on Mixcloud.
Fuck,
yeah, I'm clogging their servers kind of thing, right? But the thing is with that is, like, when I got to my first, like, 100 mixes uploaded, I would just go back and re-listen to them, like, different venues. So that way, when I'm listening to it, it's like, okay, I made a mistake there. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, that song didn't really work with that song. I'm just going to do this or do that. Because, like, you have to, like, you know, be your own worst critic, but at the same time, just be like, I'm just going to do better next time.
Yeah.
Because if
I
you
think-
go, like, oh, I'm not good.
Yeah,
It's like...
Yeah, and it's like that with every track I put out too. Like every time I put something out, like the next day I'm like, I can do better than that. I have to show that I can do better than that. So it's
What were you
like,
going to say just before, John?
Oh, I was about to say, I've put out, I think, 2 mixes this year, which is the most I've put out in a single year in a long time.
How many does it say, Damo, at the top there? Stream?
806.
Yeah.
my God,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it just keeps going. And it just gets to a point where Mixcloud, like, literally lags. Like really
Far out.
lags. And, like, they're all, like, 3-hour sets in part 1 and part 2.
I don't
and,
know, I
like-
never, like, I mean, I get for your own cataloging, like, I get it, but I release them very few and in between because I feel like once it's up on SoundCloud, like, transitions that I might lean on a lot or, like, tracks that I play heaps, once I put it up on SoundCloud and it, like, because I put out so few, it's, like, immortalized, and I'm like, all right, I've got a new bag of tunes and not lean on those transitions anymore, whereas when it's not on the internet, you can kind of, you know, go back to the same 2 or 3. You're like, oh, I need to go from house to D&B. I've got this transition I've been doing, you know. But once that's on the internet, you're like, oh, if I play that, all these people have come to see me have definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't put them out.
Well, see, that's why one of the
too
reasons
much,
why
yeah.
I was always listening to back to mine, because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, for 4 weeks in a row I've done this, so I'm going to try and change it up a bit now. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, it's all...
I'll play Sandstorm in reverse.
yeah. But for, like, it's all commercial music as well.
Yeah,
And so, like, with me playing commercial music, it's all about, you know... I mean, DJing
How
is
do you
reading
stay
the
on
crowd.
top of what's coming out? Like, do you sign up to like a DJ record pool or something like that, or is it actually just hours every week? Because that is my question for a commercial DJ. I guess.
So, a lot of it, believe it or not, in Perth, it's just rehashed almost. But then, like, to
Yeah.
stay up to date with what's going on, I've got a really good friend, and I go and hang out every Friday night at the market grounds.
Yeah.
And so, like, he spends like 7 hours a week literally doing research. And so every time he like throws a new track in, I'm always like over his shoulder, like, okay, I'll write that one down.
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam it basically. But then also, like, I do my own research, but with my own research, like, I dive into my own little genres. Like, recently for a really, really good house party, like Halloween house party at a place called the Soon Crew, the Quigley House. kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Quigley House if they're watching, right? But I've never been able to play anything like this before, and I got to actually put together, like, it was 128 techno, but I sped it up to 135, right? And it was just like, the best way to describe it is, it was like Berlin German techno, like industrial techno, mixed with like French electro kind of thing. So it was just like out there. And it's
Yeah,
like,
nice.
yeah, and like with that, it's like, you know, all of them were like, I've never heard anything like that. And it's like, it's your very unique like style and this and that. Because
Yeah.
obviously I sped it up to 135, so it was
Yeah, they're
faster.
like,
and shit.
"Ah,"
yeah,
yeah.
it was like banging kind of
It's also
thing.
when it gets to like the end of the hour and you're like, that's literally the last song on my USB. Someone like, there's all the music in the genre.
Well, see, that's the thing as well, that I said to him, like, I can keep going. But then there was like someone else wanted to jump on. So I was like, yeah, all right, fine. I've been going for an hour and 40, like, you know, it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron Ford is monstrous.
Yeah. But, well, not really.
Not when you play techno, sorry.
Yeah. Like, when you're playing that kind of stuff and it's heavy and it's like in the club setting, sure. But like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like that's a techno DJ stereotype. Is if you let them, they will just play for like 6 hours.
yeah.
I also wonder like what you guys do when you play back to back. I'm like, when you mix a song in, does the other guy go out and like get dinner and a drink, come back and mix in the next song.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I don't say this often, but the longest set I've actually ever done was 11 and a half hours.
What the
Jesus,
fuck?
Yeah. And that was,
What?
yeah, 11 and a half hours. I really wanted to get to 12 hours, but then I started falling apart.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It was, can you pull it up, Damo? It was called Vin and Ollie's Tappers in Fremantle.
That's
And-
actually
shit.
sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
but,
that's all good.
Next year, a couple of friends and I are thinking about putting together make music straight.
Do it, yeah.
I reckon that.
It's a niche market, do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I reckon
And people
people
will
would-
tune in.
Yeah,
like-
they'd be like, okay, like, what are you gonna make, dude?
Yeah,
Like-
and do the donation thing as well, so they can
Yeah.
actually like it says like the words
They
or
Uber Eats
whatever.
you, they
Yeah.
Uber Eats you food. Like,
Yeah.
Like, someone buy me a coffee. Like, I really need one.
Yeah. But so yeah, it was a place called Vin and Ollie's Tapas, and it was 2 years ago now, and like they hired me to play from like 11 o'clock or midday on a Sunday, and like in the window of Fremantle, like you know where time zone is in Fremantle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And it's like there's like literally the alleyway, and then next door there's like a little bar,
yeah.
and so like I was in that window, and I'd play from like. Originally, they only wanted me to play until like 9 p.m. But I was really good mates with one of the bar manager, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he was just like, yeah, just keep going. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. So it's like it was midday till like 11:30 at night. I'm pretty
Jesus.
sure. Yeah.
I've done a similar thing at Blazing Swan, but like that's a lot easier when it's people are bringing you
Yeah.
all sorts, and you're just like, yeah, it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I could do this for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like for me, it was all commercial music though. So I was playing,
Yeah.
60s,
shit.
70s, 80s, 90s kind of thing.
Just through the eras, like
Yeah. And since it was during the day, it was like, Donna Summer, it was like Bob Dylan, it was Simon and
Yeah,
Garfunkel
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And then by about like 8 p.m., I'm starting to go into more like a bit more party stuff and like just
Yeah.
take it from there. But like I said, like after that set, I didn't really talk to anyone for the day after. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's-
Oh
nah.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
eh?
shut up, dude.
Because
Just to like 11:30, and then I played round the twist 3 times.
Yeah.
Go home.
But it's also because like I kept seeing like all these people around the world, and it's like they're doing like 8-hour sets, they're doing 9-hour sets. Like fuck it, I want to do 12-hour set. Like, really want to do it, and they're like, no, I
think,
can't do it.
Archie
No.
Ram or someone did like a 24-hour. Or like
Yeah, that's
36
it.
hours, something crazy.
Prototypes did it, I think.
Yeah.
But there's 2 of them, so you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One can sit on the couch and have a 1 hour
Yeah,
nap.
yeah, just like nap out and then like hop back in.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
still want to
yeah,
play?
I was about to say,
some
yeah,
other
before we
stuff?
go, let's pull up that drive and then.
Before we do,
Oh, he's back on the table.
Before we do, we have a friend. This is your.
There we go. That
Come
is
here.
from the Naked Shipment Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's one
Damn,
of
that's
that's
dope.
Alchemy Decor. That's one of their his shade sales. Yeah, you can see there. You can see like the lycra and bamboo wings that we used twice, and then Dan, my partner at the time, was like, "You are never doing that ever again." I was like, "But they're so effective."
That's pretty cool though, and like those shades
Yeah.
cloths, they're just
And you can
amazing.
zoom in. If you look at that roof there, is made out of scaffolding. That was like, yeah, like that's over the DJ's head, like fanned out 5-meter scaffold poles. That was a monster build.
Holy shit!
And then but you can see there how the shipman just like climbed up on the decks, and he got Sparta kicked off that stage.
This is Sparta. Get the fuck off, shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You can see the sound system there too. The stacks either side. That was the first time he ever set them up like that in the big festival stack.
Mm. Do you ever get, just quickly, like, whenever you throw these festivals and parties and stuff like that, do you ever get the people that stick their heads in, like, the actual speaker cabinets?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know
I've
why
got
people
guests with
do
booth
that.
monitors. Like, you can sit inside those and people are just like, oh my
I
god.
give me anxiety, man. I'm that guy
Yeah.
that turns out earplugs. You know what I mean? Like,
That's it, right?
that's fucked.
Like, I've seen videos and I'm just be like,
You're definitely going to be deaf by the time
I
you
fucking
do it.
Yeah.
Kudos whoever sent those in for us.
yeah.
That was your friend. I think his name, Daniel Overett.
Oh, what a legend.
Yeah.
Adventure High Perth.
Yep. Jet skis.
I think there's one is Chamberlain's tune on there.
Oh no, we should save that.
We should. Oh,
Save it?
no, that's
No,
the,
we'll save the heavy hitters, dude. Yeah.
All right, well, we won't play that one, but like
Yeah.
when we say we're stoked about this, like we've got Chamberlain on there, we've got all the etc. tune. I reckon.
Oh, they
that's
can't
the-
see it. They can't see it right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I could see you scrolling through our drive, and I was like, oh shit.
I might as well just spill the beans, you know.
Yeah, no, we got
Yeah.
Chamberlain on there, like the Distracted Boys, who we've just linked up with, and we've got a really good relationship with now. They're wicked.
Yeah, it's massive. Like that is.
Yeah, like it's just looking at all those tracks is
So like, what type of digital synths do you guys use to like, you know,
Serum.
Serum,
I
yeah.
use
He
operator.
uses operator
Operator?
heaps.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't use serum. I use serum purely to make.
What can we?
Really?
Like, that's it. That's the only
Wow.
time I use serum.
But have you ever
PVC.
seen the thing where Rob Swire called out the Serum kids at all? He made a tweet, right, and it was like, all these new dubstep acts and dubstep artists or whatever, like all you have to do is just download Serum patches and away you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
that's
Like
it.
there's like a lot of like, I guess like I'm hell like when it comes to sound design, I guess like yeah. Like,
But it's a good thing because it's your unique, just like it's your own thing. Like
yeah. Like why sound like everyone else?
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to play?
I reckon we should just play the Chamberlain tune. It's so
If you
good,
want
man.
to,
It's
dude.
so
Like,
good.
I
It's-
reckon the
If
laser
people
ball is
have
fine, yeah.
listened to us talk shit for this whole hour, they deserve to listen to that
Or an hour and a
Chamberlain
half. So
tune.
like,
Yeah. Oh shit.
yeah.
We're actually going over, so technically an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, you got Eputty here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's it. We got
yeah.
this guy. He
Yeah.
blows squares.
Yeah, I didn't realize we talked that much smack.
yeah.
Surprised.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So which one?
That's it.
Chamberlain?
Yeah, we'll play the
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain
Yeah.
We convinced him.
All right, and we'll probably finish up on that, I reckon, because we've almost gone for 2 hours.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking real fans still here.
Yeah.
Sneak preview.
Hey, yo, feel this. 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 Rock. 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 Feel this. Rock. Rock. Feel this. Rock. Rock. Hey, yo, feel this. Rock. 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 Hey, yo, feel this. Rock. 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 Hey, yo, feel this.
What wasn't on the stream? Wait, what? Like,
What?
wait, what?
Oh, yeah, no, I was going through his. What was? You smoking cities?
No, what are you talking
I don't know
about?
what you're talking
He ain't pinching darts.
Not me. meaning.
You can blow squares though.
I assume we're back on.
Yeah, we're back on. Yeah.
No, I mean, convincing John, it wasn't very hard to convince him. Actually, I think once he heard a few of the other kind of East Coast boys giving us tunes, he was like, "Oh shit, I'll give
Dude,
you
I
this."
was just surprised, like the willingness amount of people that.
Give us
It
tunes.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Fuck. All
It's
right.
my third run at it. Like, tried to put it together
So
a
he's
few
been trying,
times.
like, yeah,
and it
you've
just
been working
never
at it.
took off. You know,
Yeah.
no one that was ever on there on the previous one is on this one because I just botched it. But yeah, convincing John to give us that tune was when I was like, oh shit! I was like, it's the real deal. Like Chamberlain's, and that tune is a fucking belter.
And I like the fact that it's all Australian-based music artists as well.
Yeah.
It's a really cool niche thing that we should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
local
yeah,
homegrown.
For like the
Especially for like a
VAs.
compilation, you know,
Like,
because
just
then
keep
over
it
the years
Australian.
we'll be able to track like here's how our artists have evolved, here's how the Australian sounds going and stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess before we go, fucking
Yeah,
what
we'll
is it?
do some plugs.
Yeah, Garlic Party,
Yeah, Garlic Party
Santa
tomorrow.
Esmeralda, Kill Bill, Ghettofunk remix dropping tomorrow, Christmas Eve, free download. VA coming soon.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
EP and an album coming in the new year. One by a Kiwi bloke now in South Australia, Step, like a really sick, like almost 2-part dubstep and D&B album in the new year, and a really cool Glitch Hop EP by T-Mac.
And the other thing with the
Yeah, some
about.
really cool international
Um,
releases.
that should be coming.
Yeah,
Big thing.
say early mid. And Cabaret is going to be our huge rave with headliners once the borders are down. Fucking fully sick, burlesque, cabaret, funky bass music rave with the boiler room and everything. That'll be probably the highlight of the first half of the year for us. And if you're into fucking really weird bass music, we hopefully will be launching a new night soon.
Yeah,
So.
and pay what you want on Bandcamp too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay for our
Bandcamp.
caffeine addictions.
That's
and
it.
mastering.
The
Like
Nitro.
John at Nitro Brew.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. Like,
Nah, bro. Pleasure.
this has been awesome. Like,
Pleasure
we've just
being
gone
on.
so over time, but it's been great. Though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
No, I look forward to fucking doing this again in a year's time.
Yeah,
If
100%,
fucking
yeah.
Come, man.
yeah. That's what I mean as well. Like, you know, I got Ewan on like when we were first like putting this together. We're just sitting on
Yeah.
like trestle tables and concrete floors.
And we kept talking
Yeah.
about like us coming on the podcast, and yeah, like you've been busy. Like,
Yeah,
I can see
that's
that.
it.
Yeah.
Like, Damo, can you swap camera over and do,
Show the wall.
It's like every 3 episodes I get him to do this. It's so awesome though when he does
like
it.
the update to the.
Yeah, like how packed the bloody wall is. So shout out to Roberta. So Robbie, she actually, DJ So Tired, she actually designed that wall for us. And
Oh, sick.
yeah, it's just so it just made this room so much more professional kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks legit, eh?
Yeah, there's
I
so many
also-
signatures.
while-
There's a TV screen, eh?
Yeah.
Since you mentioned going over time, big props to Heather in the corner, waiting patiently and driving me. Yeah. Listen
Shout
to
out
us
to Sassy too.
talk
Yeah.
smack for 2
Sassy
hours.
cat.
Yeah.
It's just like being at home.
Yeah. She does listen to me talk a lot of shit. We'll be out to
Just get
dinner and she'll
carried
look at
away.
her watch and she'll be like, it took 11 minutes before you mentioned cryptocurrency.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess I know what we're talking about after this.
Oh, don't get him started.
I got
Yeah.
slow cooked pulled pork waiting for me at home.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got pulled tacos at
Oh,
home.
lucky.
I won't plug my cryptocurrency. Yeah, I'm not a shill.
But you've been making a bit of profit though, right?
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
been pretty good.
It's been
Buy
pretty
more AMC and GME.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Fucking God, dude, are you serious?
Yeah. Just casual plug, like.
Yeah. Not financial advice.
Yeah. That's it. It's not right. Yeah.
It's
Oh
on
my
sale.
God, I thought that was like the DJ AMC.
No, there's
No, it's a crypto.
It's a meme stop. No, GameStop.
Yeah, stop. That's it.
That's what everyone's
GMC.
heard of. Yeah.
Oh,
GameStop.
I told him not.
I was told not to wear, yeah.
Yeah. But still, like, what a wild time though, right? With GameStop.
That's not
Yeah.
looking good, John.
That is, no, that's fine. It's on sale. I bought more. Shorts haven't covered.
That's it. At the moment, we're in a bear market, so hold
Yeah.
on to your horses.
Yeah, that's
Bitcoin's down like 30K,
it.
so
Dollar cost average in. Not finance. Yeah, that's the whole nother
This is-
show. There's an hour of content.
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Yeah, maybe we should start doing a crypto show.
Special edition
Yeah,
infrared.
that's it. We just
Yeah.
start shit talking all the cryptocurrencies, like
Yeah,
all the
instead of being
coins.
like, have you ever smoked DMT? You'd be like, have you ever bought an NFT?
Yeah, that's it. All right, what do you think of SHIB? All right, well,
Sick.
yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. And
Yeah.
like 100% in a year, you got to get getting you guys
Yeah,
back.
we'll do another 2 hours.
Especially
Yeah.
after like the VA and all the
Mammoth
other shit.
takeover.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like,
More.
have you guys got just quickly? Have you guys got like not plans, but like you know how you said you've got like your milestone for this year was to get like 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 followers. I think we're at
1,000 followers.
902,
Yeah,
and we got a free.
yeah,
we got
please follow
7
us.
days.
Yeah.
But like for next year, have you guys got milestones or anything like that yet?
Do we?
I think
should work
I
on
think-
some,
I think
like-
we just like worked towards the VA, and then once the
Yeah.
VA's out, I think we'll expand our horizons and start working on like a 2, 3, and 5 year plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with like some of the stuff.
I think the big one for next year is to international release and coinciding tour, because also working towards being like an Australian touring agent.
Okay,
So yeah.
that'd be huge.
International
like-
release and organize a tour to go along with it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's a big goal, but
Yeah.
that's it.
That'd be so good. You got to learn to DJ before then, though.
Well, yeah, especially with the people that are coming, like I'd love to have my first set maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, it
just
really
it's all in
does
the
depend.
works.
Yeah,
It's in the
it's-
pipeline.
And other people keep trying to get him to play for them. I was like, no, he's playing at a PG.
Yeah, I'm playing a PG set
Playing
for
at
the
a
first
PG
time,
party.
yeah.
All right, well, cheers,
Right,
guys.
Let's sign
Yeah.
off, eh?
Yeah, we're signing off, and Damo makes his wave at the
Adventure
cameras. So
High Perth.
people,
Yeah.
we got to wave the cameras. So people know that we're finished. So
Yeah, all
we'll
right.
see you guys in the new year, actually, because this is the last episode of the new
Oh, what a good way to seal it off.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Gonna go home and put a mask on apparently now.
Yep, that's it. All right. So yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So catch ya.